Oh, he's back. Hello, it's me, Stink Matthew, as I shall forever be known. I did get a little bit married since the last time all of you saw me. If you can't notice a difference. It's me, it's that guy. You'll notice, no, sorry, here in the corner, unfortunately we have to retire the joke about me having never before discussed my engagement. Ninetales Cosmic Fox, thank you for the subscription. Just a little bit more married. I would say 100% more married than before. The music. Why? What's so great about the music? How's that? Well, too late. We're getting a call from them Serfs. It's this. Hello?
Oh, hi, Matt. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Again, I can see you too. You're quite clear.
Audience, can you hear Lance? And Lance's audience, can you hear Matthew?
Hi, audience. It's Lance. I do the talkie talk on the internets for the payee pay. That's how I earn my dosh. My dosh is through the talkie talk on the internet. It's good to be with all y'all though. It's wonderful to be here.
Excellent. This is what I hoped for.
I love this new camera, by the way.
Sorry?
Oh, I said I love the new camera.
Thank you. Yeah, it's what I've always looked like.
Sorry, I interrupted you. By the way, what did you say before?
I was just asking how you were.
I'm good. It's sunny, happy times right now. I feel like. Well, I only say that because normally it's always like scary times. I mean, it's always scary times. There's no changing that now. But at least it's sunny outside. It's literally sunny. So.
For now.
Yeah, for now. That can change. It's been known to. How about you? How's life? Can I give a wholehearted congratulations? Am I allowed to speak with this?
Yeah. No. Yeah. I'm wearing the ring, so I wouldn't be able to keep it a secret.
Oh shit! The One Ring.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Congratulations. That's amazing.
Volume.
Is there anything you can talk about?
I'm not sure I understand the question.
Like, people are asking, like, are you married? Have you already gotten married? When was your wedding? Can you tell us details? The slime has evolved. I'll agree. +4.
I am married. That's about as much detail as I really want to give, to be honest. I don't. It's my whole situation is a whole thing. COVID really messed with our plans, and I don't really want to go too in depth. But yeah, just because I'm trying to respect, also my wife's privacy, so I don't want to really, explain too much. But I am indeed married in both the eyes of God, the state, and even my wife, who for some reason agreed to the whole thing, which blows my mind. But here we are.
Sucker.
No take backsies.
And so do you have a weekend of merriment? Is any family coming from out of town? Is there going to be dancing, revelry?
So no one could come. Obviously, with COVID, it meant that really nobody could come. We are heading out to a honeymoon And once again, I don't really want to give too much away about that, but so
Location and address, please.
I'm taking next week off, which is why the Scaredy Cats videos this week have been, and next week have been just a tier list of horror movies, like the easiest, most simple content you can imagine.
But it's so long. The first one's like 49 minutes.
Yeah, when I did it, I stopped and I was like, oh, this was an hour and a half of me talking about this shit. And then I tried to import it into Premiere Pro so I could edit it, and it was too big. The Premiere Pro wouldn't import it, so
Could not ingest.
could not do it.
Wow. So the whole thing was off the cuff. You didn't script it or anything. You just right away
It was all off the cuff,
just turn on the
baby.
camera. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Someone has the passion.
Well,
for-
it's
for the horror
you.
films.
I mean, you exclusively do off the cuff stuff, right?
No. I do all scripted stuff for the other Serfs channel. Like I don't know if you saw Borger Kang 2, the sequel no one asked for. But like I spent an inordinate amount of time researching that video, including showing it to three historians, including Professor of Philosophy. Well, okay, so I'm already going to debunk myself. The first one is actually a Professor of Philosophy, but I showed it to Ben Burgess, then I showed it to Tristan of Step Back History, and then I showed it to Christo Avalis. All three of them, who have like Christo Avalis is like I think a Pierre Trudeau historian, maybe. But all three of them, I was like, look for any cracks because the tankies will find them and they will destroy me, and it'll never end unless you find every crack. There cannot be a single crack. And they're like, the best advice they could give me was like, just stop. Just stop, because there's nothing you can do. There's no way to plug that ship. So just embrace it. It's gonna happen no matter what.
People give me that advice all the time, man. Just stop.
Don't do it, or just walk away.
Whatever you're doing, just stop.
It's that Mad Max quote. In general, I did like your latest rebuttal video though. That was funny. The landlord's one.
We'll talk another time that I just couldn't stop talking. It's like you wouldn't believe how much I cut too. I had a whole like extra half hour of material.
A whole extra half hour?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's because he fucking the stuff he was saying, man.
That like I never would have sat through that video had I not sat through your version of it, because I was like, oh, this is really hard to get through. I sent you a link to a watch together.
I'm gonna screw up your cam.
Yeah, please. Mm-hmm. I have to make adjustments all over the place anyway. We have to make this.
What? I've remained the same size. It's an illusion. And good news, I've also figured out how to make OBS no longer just take any Chrome window. Now it stays on the right window, so I don't accidentally show off all of my shit. Yeah. Yeah. As I often say, I don't know computers. I would say that he's digivolved. People are saying you're silenced on my end. I don't understand why. Doesn't make any sense to me. I don't understand. I don't understand why, because it looks to me on virtual voice meter. It looks like I'm hearing you. I'm seeing you there. I can't restart OBS because that'll restart the stream. It was. Why would it stop working? The sound went when the parrot came. Lance, say something now.
Hi, I'm Lance. Do I sound normal? Because if so, that's too bad. Because it means that flipping the screen is what's doing the weird thing.
Okay, I think I see the issue. I see the issue.
Chad is saying I'm quiet when I don't open my mouth, which is true.
How about there we go? That'll do it.
Did you do a thing?
Yeah. I fixed it. I fixed it using computer knowledge. I hope you're proud of me, Daddy.
Oh, I've heard of said knowledge. All right. Well, using your super high IQ mega brain, can we? Oh yeah, I need you to tell me which of the two worlds we should venture. If you wanna explore the far more wholesome but still insidious MAGA wearing beanie Weed Lord channel, or Tim Pool Untethered, because in his IRL streams it's just him now. There's no one to keep him in check. Yeah.
I'm not sure we can handle undiluted pool, but I will be honest, I don't know if Weed Lord will be interesting without Tim Pool.
It's a big risk. He does. Oh, he's streaming right now. Actually.
Oh.
He's got 2,400 people watching.
Nice.
Yeah. He does have one video on Marx, which kind of tempted me because I was kind of curious. It's called Karl Marx Deep Dive. It's almost 3 hours long.
Whoa. That seems like a long project.
Yeah. No, it's way too long. But I figured 10 minutes of it could be funny. I don't know.
Yeah, we could throw it on and see how we feel about it.
Yeah. I don't know who's got 2 hours, and it's not fair because the one after it is Best Buy Insider shares company memo, and that's 16 minutes long. And then after that, it's Neuralink, the Elon Musk thing, will blow your mind. Only 15 minutes long. But then it's like Karl Marx Deep Dive, 2 hours and 41 minutes and 41 seconds.
And it's also like, those other two sound so boring. That's so boring.
Also true. I have no interest in the Neuralink. Yeah, should we just pick a random part?
Yeah, just drop in. I'm sure wherever we go, he'll be saying something really insightful.
Okay, I want to start at the very beginning though, just because I'm curious where he jumps off, and then do some random drop-ins.
Go in. I'm just gonna put your logo over here.
Oh, nice.
There we go.
Hello, everybody. Welcome.
I'll wait for the brandage. Nice. Look at that. I'm on screen. Hi, YouTube. I'm Lance from the other side of the internet. The weird side.
Mm-hmm. The west side.
Welcome to the Adamcast IRL deep dive of Mr. Karl Marx. We're going to talk about it. I have with me tonight Miss Nisha.
What's up, everyone?
And we're going to be talking
Why
about
does his
Karl
studio
Marx.
look exactly like the old studio?
So I'm not sure how deep the lore goes. I haven't heard back from Chris Poole, Tim Poole's brother, but it is still the same studio. They're still recording in the same space. it's just he's doing his own thing, and like I don't know what they've worked out in terms of rental fees or whatever, but they had some kind of a dispute over funds. That's all I know. That's the depths of my lore.
Fair enough.
Been doing some research, and we're gonna basically bounce off each other through his history of his life. Talking about communism and his ideas, and maybe the whole Communist Manifesto and all that.
Manifesto, great start.
I want to say thanks to a couple different people. I actually had 2 different people send me
piece
the
of literature.
levitating light
You have to
bulb,
list.
and you see it here.
And this is great. See,
Spinning
right
on my
away,
desk.
Yeah.
right away, we're getting into Marx's discussion of commodity fetishism.
Oh, the material analysis is going to be so easy.
It's going to be off the chain.
He'll literally hold up materials for us.
Yes, I see. Yes, I see chat is going nuts. It's official. I have spinning things. Not only that, I have 2 spinny things.
Oh, that's why they're
you
going
see
nuts.
it over there.
Neat.
You can see the spinny light bulbs, and it's kind of good. Like I turn it on. Ooh, yes. And funny enough, I don't have to spin it. It just spins. Look at it. It's just spinning.
We make fun of this guy and pretend like he's high all the time, and he makes it real fucking easy. Like
I know,
this is the behavior of a high gentleman.
Yes, it's very petty. It's petty on both our parts.
I'm not. I think it's endearing. I think if he is just high all the time, I'm like, that's
Agreed.
one of his.
It's one of my favorite things about him. To be honest, it's the most wholesome thing about him. Like, it's always like it veers into the strange. She'll be like, yeah, I just want to be like a songwriter. You're like, cool. He's like, and a model that travels the world. And you're like, okay, he's a little stranger now. He's like, and also the race war is starting, and we should help and update it. Like, oh, well, how about some weed, man?
Yeah. Well, how about instead of having a race war, we just smoke more weed? Clip that one, everybody. Clip that.
I'm not even doing anything.
No. Oh no.
Technically, I could.
That's going to
doing
be
it
on the
with my
internet in
mind,
like 10 minutes.
but no one would know. But anyway, I'm very excited about that. Spinny.
When
spinny
will
light
the
bulbs.
lights turn on? Because you can turn them on and off.
When I have a really good idea,
Nice.
I'll turn it on and be like, oh, bing! I've got a good idea. I don't know. Anyway, spin the bulb.
It will never be turned on.
Someone just said it in Helix just said it in chat, and yeah, I mean, well, I see a lot of people saying it, but you know what? I kind of like it, right? It felt so.
Oh, 1 sec. Can I pause it? There's someone buzzing at my chamber door.
Okay.
BRB.
Yeah. Not a problem. Hello, chat. It's me. I'm back. This gives me an opportunity to thank all of the lovely people that have given me wedding gifts and super chats. Yes, I know my upload is complete. Would you rather train a cat or debate a Noswell? Obviously, train a cat. What kind of a question is that? Would I rather do something fun or do something sucky? I'd rather do the fun thing. YouTube, you need to get better at like collecting super chats somewhere that it's easy to see. I got my tax return, so here's some money. I'm glad to take it from the government, especially. I was hoping there was one that was $25 and someone said it was a wedding gift, and I thought that was very nice. And I wanted to thank that person. So if you're still here, please let me know it was you. And also, hey, thanks for subscribing. Pinkerbell Pixie, Pantheon 413, Larkit, Aroncubolt. Slem's beard texture is awesome. It's not simply a texture that I've applied to my face. It's a real beard that I grew on my own. This isn't Photoshop. You know I'm not good at computers.
Hey, sorry.
No, it's fine, man. You know, sometimes people knock at your door.
Yeah, I'm ashamed to say it was an
Burger
Amazon
King.
delivery. I've hypocrited myself.
I mean, we're both on Twitch, so
We're
I
both
think-
live on Twitch right now.
Yeah, cat's out of the bag on
I've-
that one.
I've hypocrited myself again.
Hmm.
I know. Everyone's sending me these clips.
Was it the clip of me saying instead of having a race war, we should smoke weed?
Yes, in that order. Why? Oh, there you are.
Would it be easier to train a cat or debate
All
an
right.
Ozbowl? Easier to debate an Ozbowl, but pointless.
To train a cat to do what? They can poop, right? It just takes a long time.
You don't have to train them to poop. They do that
Oh,
on their own.
Sorry, I should have added in a human toilet.
Right,
instead of
like
just saying-
Nightlife Mingus, the cat of Charles Mingus.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they can. Nice. Pixel slime. I know he's a little pixelated, but it's the same good old slime. Just move him a bit. All right. Golden.
Lacking, not having something to spin, and now I don't even have to spin it. It is
Now
just
you have two things
straight
to
up
spin.
spinning. Well, I have something for the guest or co-host to spin, or turn on. Yeah, very nice, very nice. Bing, 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 bing. But I'm gonna keep it off
We're
because
two
I kind of
minutes
like.
in.
Look, it actually warps my hand. It's kind of trippy. Very nice. Anyway, now that
Yeah,
we got
thanks
the
for
whole.
sending
Do we have to say anything?
Yeah, whoever sent those, very cool. Thank you
Yeah,
so
no.
much.
It is more
Pretty
wholesome.
nice. It didn't feel complete, my desk here, without something to spin, or at least something
Like,
spinning.
get rid of the
So it
Trumpy
is
bear,
official.
and this is a
I
cozy
have
scene.
a spinning device.
Might have to make a little podium or something for the so it gets raised up so they can see it a little better.
Yeah, that's true. They could tell that it's actually a floating, light bulb. It's actually floating. You can't see it, but it's suspended in midair. It's pretty cool. So yeah, maybe I'll raise it up and figure it out. I was thinking maybe what?
Why would you not
I forgot.
position the camera so that they can see the thing you've been paid to talk about?
I have no idea.
He's been talking about these fucking light bulbs for 3 minutes. He could have just moved the fucking camera.
Barely in frame. Or just hold one up. Like, you just... Yeah.
Forgot
Either
how
way.
it started.
Daintily-
Daintily,
It's the
Daintily-
lore.
daintily boop the like button if you would
Yes.
prefer.
Daintily boop the like button or smash it. I prefer smashing. Smash that like button. That's how I like to do it.
Destroy it.
Or destroy it. Well, no, that could result in maybe
What did
them
Ian say? Mangle it.
mangle
The like button.
I don't know. Ian comes up with a new way to slam that like button very well. You can also become a member clicking underneath the light bulb. Oh,
Any objections if I just skip ahead a little
No,
bit?
no. I was about to say the exact same thing. I was like, can we get past the?
Yeah.
Let's get into the marks. Let's get into
Here we
some
go.
theory. All right. I want to.
Here we go. There's
I'm
some
gonna learn
words
things.
here.
was influenced
Oh, nice.
less by religion than by critical and sometimes radical social policies of the Enlightenment. His
Nice.
Jewish background.
He's
exposed
literally
him
reading the
to
encyclopedia.
prejudice and discrimination.
Well,
It may have led him to.
That's honestly better than I would expect. I would expect him to go straight to Wikipedia.
No. I am not throwing shade. For a lot of other people, that would have been an insult. But not, no. I'm actually quite happy with the source in this case.
questioned the role of religion in society and contributed to his desire for social
Yeah, that's
change.
an improvement from Tim Pool.
Interesting because later on he actually, like in letters between him and his best friend, there's a lot of like they don't speak highly of Jewish
Citation
people.
needed.
Really?
Yeah, they kind of shit talked them, but
But he was Jewish, wasn't he?
yeah, well his dad was.
Yeah, I
Anyway.
actually, I have his angles. His
Are they
letters
already
and
getting
angles,
into the
which
racist
is-
stuff?
Cool.
Everyone loves to.
Did you know
reference it,
he said
so
some pretty anti-Semitic shit? Did you know that about Marx? He was pretty anti-Semitic, bro.
Yeah, I heard
quote.
about that. I heard about how he said some
Yeah.
anti-Semitic shit to refute an anti-Semite in a letter one time. Yeah, pretty damning stuff.
Too much. What's with all the context?
Yeah, and here's the thing. You know,
Can't do
I
that.
can't support anyone that said something problematic. Anyway, do you like my Trumpy bear in the background?
Yeah. Anyone want to vote for this guy?
Yeah.
the one who brags about sexual assault. Yeah, that dude.
Mm-hmm. The guy who said
Oh,
that
wow,
he
yeah.
always gets Jewish accountants because they're good with money. That guy? That's
Yeah.
the guy?
Yeah. They're better with money apparently. Yeah. Yeah.
They talk about it, and he is rather blunt about exactly that, you know, and other races too. But we'll get into that later. That's further on in his life. So now, you know, he's going to school. He was educated from 1830 to 1835 in high school in Trier. And it's interesting. The school itself was under surveillance by the police state.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so they were watching his school. And his writings during this period exhibited a spirit of Christian devotion and a longing for self-sacrifice on behalf of humanity. So you could tell that he got some of the roots of wanting good for everybody through the Christian school that he was in.
Oh, that's
So
where it came from.
It's interesting.
That's
You can
it.
tell that he kind of.
Yeah.
It was like this weird mix of, you know, his father was successful, was a successful lawyer.
Yeah.
He's going to school with Christian values, although was Jewish. So it's
And he idolized his dad.
he did.
He went on to study
In
law.
spite of.
Despite being Jewish, he still managed
Yeah.
to want to help people. Yeah.
Yep.
This
Well,
is-
he figured that out, right?
Yeah, very normal conversation.
thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks to the Bible.
Yeah, I mean, thank God
the
he
Bible
had
helped him
he
with
had
that.
Jesus in his life, or otherwise he would have, you know,
If
who knows?
he would have been an even more raging anti-Semite.
Originally.
Karl Marx did.
Yes.
Ah, okay, interesting. So let's see. In October in 1835, he matriculated at the University of Bonn. The courses he attended were exclusively in humanities, in subjects such as Greek and Roman mythology and the history of art. He participated in customary student activities, fought a duel, and spent a day in jail for being drunk and disorderly. This is true. He actually got in a duel with... Do you have information about
Yeah,
this?
well, that's where he has a scar above his eye.
Yeah, yeah.
That's where that comes from.
Yes.
And he started like a university club,
Uh-huh.
and there was other clubs that had opposing views, and so they would often just, you know, argue and get drunk and like have fights,
Yeah.
and then one of those fights led to an actual duel.
That's
I like.
Swords.
that kicks
Well,
ass.
I was gonna say I love. Yeah, I love how they're focusing on like a lot of these kind of wilder anecdotal stories of Marx, but I was like, the one you're telling, I don't know if it's supposed to like disparage him, just makes him sound kind of like a badass old timey figure, right? Who like actually engages in duels while drinking and stuff like that.
Yeah, like, can you imagine if you like were reading a history book about your favorite philosopher and you found out they had never been in a duel? Like, how could you respect them after that? You know,
That's
back
true.
in the day, if you were anybody, you were getting in duels, you know?
Yeah. But like 3 or 4 generations from now, they're gonna have to look back at us. I debated someone on the internet. Like, oh yes, he was a true warrior. That one, he debated on the internet.
That's where I got my scar
Where
and my
Carl
clout.
got you know, hit above his eye, and he got a big scar from that.
And actually, he was proud of this scar. He was like, yeah, that's right.
Fuck yeah.
I was injured in a duel. I'm awesome. Anyway, so that's
Yeah,
So he was
dude.
arrogant already as a youngin. He
Yeah.
was like 17 years old at that time.
well, and you think about he came from a wealthy family.
Yeah.
So he has money behind him too, which I feel could very easily lead to being more arrogant than the average person. So
So your rebuttal, okay, so your attempt to discredit Karl Marx is to say that people with money
Orgar King.
might have an inflated sense of their ability to run society. Is that what I'm hearing? Like,
That's what it sounds like. Yeah. Yeah, he sounds like rich bougie Marx. He's a trust fund baby, which I didn't know.
I guess
Yep.
it did rub off. So let's see. He's in school. He's studying. He left Bonn after a year. What, you got something to add there?
Well, his dad actually was
Why
like
you got some that?
fed up with him like having these fights and like
Oh, really?
drinking and being an unruly teenager. So he transferred him to Berlin University, where because
Ah.
that was like a more studious university.
Interesting. You know, that's funny. It doesn't even have that information here because it says after he left Bonn.
So you're telling me they left some information out of the encyclopedia article? Okay.
What? It's not the sum total of human knowledge, just like printed on every page.
Or he left Bonn after a year, and in October 1836,
and also like suspicious. Like, you know, a little bit curious as to why this one piece of information was left out of the Encyclopedia Britannica. I don't know.
Yeah, it's all those
agenda much like
all those Marxist revisionists over at the Encyclopedia Britannica just trying to make Marx look good.
Yeah, of course.
University of Berlin to study law and philosophy. So Marx's crucial experience at Berlin was his introduction to Hegel's philosophy, a regnant there, and his adherence to the young Hegelians. You have stuff about
The
that?
Hegelians.
Yeah, what were they about?
Yeah, so,
Okay, first off, pause. Adorable. All right, that sounds like a horror movie villain, like the Hegelians. Like, oh no, the Hegelians are gonna get us. Like, I love that.
The puzzle cube, and now the
at some-
Hegelians are released. Yeah.
Yes. Oh man. Okay, so if we ever make a fucking horrible, shitty YouTube movie, you know how like YouTube people end up making YouTube movies and they're always terrible. It should involve the Hegelians at some point. That's all I want to say. And also, I'm sorry.
This lady who he's brought on, presumably he wanted somebody who knew a lot about Karl Marx, and she doesn't know how to pronounce young Hegelian. Like,
yeah, I know. I'm trying so hard not to be condescending though, because I hate the idea of being like, excuse me, what, they haven't read all 3 volumes of Capital? Well, this is not becoming, I'll say. Quite gauche.
Yes, true. Like there's obviously, but
you're totally right. Like no, that like it's the key influencer to a lot of like, you know, what ends up crafting his theory. So yeah, you should like it should like I'll say this much: it shouldn't be a new name / word to you upon
be the
doing
first
the 3-hour special.
It. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I think that's fair. That's not us being too bougie.
No, I mean we didn't make fun of him for not being able to pronounce matriculated, because that has nothing to do with the topic at hand.
But I did laugh like an immature piece of shit.
Oh,
Somebody like
it's a reflex.
So
you can't help it.
And like I mispronounce words all the time. Words I know. I mean, it's pretty hypocritical of me. But yeah, it was just like it was a guttural reaction.
What was it? It was the history. He was a professor at the university who had like recently passed away, and a bunch of the students were like really devoted to his ideas, which were about like the history of. Let me see if I wrote it down. It's like a gradual unfolding of freedom and of reason. It was like ideas related to that. So they started this group and were really devoted to Hegel.
Yeah, I have it here. It says the left formed the young Hegelians for the most indirect disciples of
Hegelians.
Hegel.
I love it.
The dialectic as principle of movement.
Oh,
and
this is
viewed
great.
Hegel's identification of the radical, the
rational.
rational with the real as command to modify the culture.
Do you know what's incredible about this?
That reaction
is
I feel like we're bread pilling someone. I don't know where. Someone somewhere is being bread pilled right now. I don't know how. Someone in some corner of the internet.
What's incredible about this is that they knew they were going to do this stream. He did not read the encyclopedia article ahead of time.
No, I know. The one thing is like I didn't have the time. There's so many sources, you see. Like, come on, each volume is like thousands of pages. But it's like, no, but we got that one Encyclopedia Britannica article for you to read.
It's like, I did more research for my video coming out tomorrow about Achewood than they're doing for one of the most like important economics people in history.
And to make it rational.
That's a mouthful.
It was a mouthful. I did it. I got through it all though. So yeah,
no idea what it means.
So he joined this group, the Young Hegelians, and I guess it says.
Young Hegelians.
Go ahead. What do you got?
Like the professor wanted reform, but the group were like so
good.
idealistic and so into him that they wanted like a complete revolution.
He's like, no, I just want to fix what's wrong, and they're like, no, burn it down.
Yeah.
Sounds familiar.
But this was also like a time of the Prussian state was
Sounds
very
familiar.
conservative, but the ideas of from the French Revolution were like flaring up.
Yeah.
So, the kids were inspired by that, and they wanted to like push up against this wall of like conservatism and religion that was, had a steady hold on the town they were in.
Okay. So let's see. Well, it says here, at first he felt repugnance towards Hegel's doctrines. When Marx fell sick, it was partially, as he wrote this to his father, from intense vexation at having to make an idol of a view I detested. So he actually detested Hegel's work.
Interesting.
The Hegelian pressure from the revolutionary student culture was powerful, however, and Marx joined a society called the Doctor Club.
Ergo,
whose members were
vis-a-vis. He despised everything he ever wrote, clearly.
It's
It
like,
was a love-hate relationship, you see.
it's also like they came into this with the narrative that they had, and they are getting surprised by every sentence in this.
Oh, yeah. Every time there's a period, it's like, what? What?
He hated this guy? What? I thought he was a Hegelian.
Philosophy? Was he not a Hegelian? Don't the Hegelians make you sick with philosophy? Oh, so much great new lore.
Involved in the new literature and philosophical movement. Their chief figure was Bruno Bauer, a young lecturer in theology who was developing the idea that the Christian Gospels were a record not of history, but of human fantasies arising from emotional needs, that Jesus had not been a historical person. Marx enrolled in a course of lectures given by Bauer
hear about
on
some
the prophet
Gnosticism.
Isaiah. Bauer taught that a new social catastrophe, more tremendous than that of the advent of Christianity, was in the making. Young Hegelians began moving rapidly towards atheism and also talked vaguely of political action. So you can see this was kind of like, building this groundwork of restructuring society. I wonder if, Hegel just wanted to reform, and he was part of this group that wanted to burn it down.
Yeah.
And there's a quote I actually have written from
the thing is,
it's fitting.
You don't fucking have to wonder, because you could go look up the fucking answer, is the thing. You can't just speculate. It's not like we don't know what Hegel thought. He was a philosopher. He wrote everything down. Like
He was very prolific, too.
you could just, I guarantee, go on YouTube. PhilosophyTube definitely has a video about Hegel. Like, you can just go and learn it before you come to present it and say, I bet, you know what I think? I bet he thought this. Like, check.
They treat it the same way they do like Marvel lore, like for the movies that are coming out. Like, I've been looking up on ScreenRants.com, and it's kind of interesting what Hegel thought about like that after credit sequence. I got some theories. Bro.
Yeah, I mean, if you read to the end of I don't know, a book by Hegel. He didn't write Symposium. I don't know who that was. Anyway, there's a cameo from Immanuel Kant.
Oh, at the very end.
Yeah, it sets up the sequel.
Oh, wow. Is that the OG post-credit sequence? Was that the first? Mm-hmm. Wow.
It's a shared universe. I feel like we're still in biography territory. I would like to skip ahead.
Yeah. No, let's get to the eugenics.
Yeah. Yes. Clip that, everybody.
And discussing politics. So their parents were like, "No, we're not going to give you any more money."
So
we're still in college.
We got rich.
Wow.
Communism is like the next phase that should follow.
The next
he
phase
recognized that communism would not be possible before there was capitalism.
Right.
In a place.
Okay.
So, but he thought that communism is sort of the natural.
I gotta stop doing the thing.
Natural progression of the how do you say this? The economic
society, maybe just kind of.
Yeah, the economic system, how it evolves.
Yeah,
that was the word I couldn't think of.
Well, and you know what? It feels like he was kind of ahead of his time, because if you really think about where our future is, not even where we are now. I mean, we just found out early in the week on the show. We talked about how they're 3D printing molecules. We're figuring out how to make carbohydrates from the sun, artificial photosynthesis. So these things are. We're moving towards this automation of almost everything.
Yeah.
So the communism that has been over the past 100 years has been terrible, but everyone likes to go, well, what about Star Trek? What about the Star Trek future with replicators, and you just can print everything? And if that's the case, then you really can have a lot of these ideals from the manifesto that they talk about, without running.
Yeah, like, how in the Communist Manifesto, they're always talking about how they're going to 3D print molecules and have artificial photosynthesis, like on Star Trek.
I'm trying not to do the thing where all I do is laugh hysterically, because like I get the YouTube comments when they're like, "Are you actually going to pick any of this apart, or are you just gonna laugh like banshees?"
I'm just like,
but it's so so funny.
What is there to pick apart? Like really? Like, what idea is he presenting? Like, it's like he so clearly is out of his depth, and like he's not in particularly deep water. Like the thing he's trying to say is like, in a future with a post-scarcity type of technology, you can imagine
post-scarcity resources. Yeah, well, of course, we won't have to worry about anything. So why should we need an economy if we have no wants, right? That's the only time when it makes sense to him. I should say to them, to those people. But I'm mostly talking about like conservatives or libertarians. Like, the only way this ever makes sense to me is with infinite commodities, infinite production. If you have like, if no one is wanting for anything, it's like, well, that's in a lot of ways what they're trying to achieve, just like with the things we have now. So other people don't have to starve. Well, a few of us have like everything. It's like I don't like. I enjoy the bounty of the surplus, but also not the billions of people who have to make everything and die.
Well, it's also like we have more food than we need now, and people are still going hungry. So at what level of overproduction of food do people start getting fed? Like,
that's so true. It's twice. We're overproducing food. We throw out twice as much food as we consume. Well, like, I think it's like almost 1 billion people on the planet are like below the hunger
1 in 11
equivalent. Yeah. So yeah, my word, that's so true. So we solved that. We have post scarcity for food, but it's not changing anything yet. That should be the next checkmate. It should be like, well, checkmate capitalists. Yeah, like, we figured that one out.
Yeah. Where's like. The idea that, like, because they're in the mindset that the only reason that there's poverty or hunger is that there's not enough food or money or whatever. But like, that's no, that's not how economics work. And it's ironic that yeah. Anyway, we've already thought about this more than he has.
Someone is telling me, I don't know if you know this, Matt, this is totally off the side. You do. I sent it to you. The U.S. Army broadcasts on Twitch and uses Twitch as a tool to recruit children for war crimes.
To do war crimes.
So they started. Yeah, so I started, typing comments in the chat. Is this the war crime update? Is this the extension pack to let you bomb poor people in other countries, poggies, things of that nature? And then they banned me. And then I made an emote that has my like doofus face with the word war crimes on it. I saw that, and they banned that. I've subsequently changed it 3 times now. If I change the name of it, it resets it in the server. And apparently people are informing me it just got banned again.
Oh.
So we're losing. We lost the battle, but not
we're losing the war on war crimes.
So far.
I'm getting a lot of spam of your war crimes emoji in chat, which I'm very much here for.
Nice. All right, we should return. All right, should we fast forward again? Are we still in kind of... Okay, I'll leave that to you.
What is it again? Say it again. What is it again?
More
Say it again.
severe. Suppurativa.
Soza?
No. SUPPURA.
I've recently discovered the Thaw Slime channel on
right here.
YouTube.
Right
Love
here.
the eyeball zone.
Oh!
I don't want to see
I'm going to show everybody.
They're amazing.
It's so gnarly.
That's an armpit.
That is
Oh,
an
thank
armpit,
God.
and it is
Thank God, I
gross.
was like,
Look
did
at
I
that
just
armpit.
toast my VOD?
Oh my god.
Phew.
Let's
Yeah, what
But
was the name of his book?
that's not
Das
necessary.
Kapital.
Das Kapital, right?
So
I haven't read that, and I don't really know too much about.
I
Das
would have been
Kapital.
astounded of
Really?
everything. Yeah, well, of everything they brought up, I was like, really, Das Kapital. I hated reading Das Kapital. I'm not good on like well, not even just theory, but the idea of having like mathematics to back up your ideas about economics, like that to me is the dry shit in the world. So I can't imagine having to sit through it all if you don't want to read the encyclopedia article beforehand.
What if he just pulled out like a well-worn copy of Das Kapital with like the spine all cracked, and he had like sticky notes where he'd put like all of his thoughts, and like it was all sticking out. He was like giving citations from the book. Like, imagine our reaction. Imagine we would be so pogged if he did that.
Oh, this is a great comment. If Das Kapital was a pussy, Ben Shapiro would be a communist.
Because it's dry?
I assume so, yes.
I see. Very good.
Do you know what it's about?
Well, I just wanted to say first about
go
his
ahead, yeah.
life.
What it's about. It's not a novel, dude.
What's it all about, dog?
What's Capital about? Yeah.
What's in there, Like what's it vibing? Yeah, I don't know, man. I haven't what's it about? What are you about?
Life. So he got so sidetracked from life in general.
Okay.
Like he didn't have any regular eating habits, regular sleeping habits. He barely cleaned himself. Probably, a reason for some of his diseases that he developed. Not sure, but he had liver problems because he was drinking and smoking so much. Actually, I don't know if smoking causes liver problems, but I would assume so.
Wow.
Yeah, he led like a very destructive sort of lifestyle, and sometimes he wouldn't sleep for like 2 or 3 days. He would just manically write, and then he would.
So far I've heard a sum total, I think, of like maybe less than a minute on the actual theories behind any of this, and the rest of the time they've just been talking shit. Like, oh, he was a lecherous drunk who would stumble through the streets and battle people in duels, and on top of that, he smoked, which gives you
Feed the
liver
chuds
damage.
there,
I'm
don't
told.
feed the chuds, feed the anarchists.
His liver was corroded from cigarettes, but I still have yet to hear anything about like what he thought.
I don't think they know. Like,
Oh,
maybe that's obvious, but like I genuinely don't think they know like anything. Like they I think have an idea of what communism is and what communists believe, like generally. But I don't think they could source any of it back to Marx. I don't think they could say what Marx's specific contributions are.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think.
Well, it's everything that's bad in the world. That's a communism.
Yeah, I do love though that the point of this tirade seems to be that you can tell Marx is wrong because he's always writing like a dum dum.
Yeah, yeah.
Way to write books, dummy.
Yep.
Come on, wash yourself. Why don't you?
Sleep through the day, and he didn't lead a very not a conventional life at all. And he wasn't working ever. He was working with his writing. That was his life.
Right.
And then he started going to the British Museum, and they had a reading room where he spent like I think 14 years or something, 10 years, just spending 14 to 16 hours a day just researching the capitalistic economy.
Yeah.
Day in and day out.
Nonstop.
What a loser.
Yeah, so that's basically where he spent the rest of his life in London writing, and he wrote for all sorts of different newspapers sporadically.
No job.
What else was he doing? And then I think he published
Super cringe.
Yeah, he published the contribution to the critique of political economy in 1859. That was his first book on economic theory. Mm-hmm. So he actually was doing a lot of research, and I don't know much about that book, but it sounds like he was looking into economics, which is very
Yeah, I
important
think
when
he
you
might
are
have been.
trying to
I think it's safe to say that Karl Marx was looking into economics, dude. Like,
He had some passions. Apparently, he was quite fond of economics. I'm told.
like, just read a blurb about what the book's about, you know? Like, go on like fucking Mises.org or whatever, or whatever conservative bullshit site you want to go to, and like pull a quote about what's wrong with the thing, you know? Do at least the bad faith effort, you know?
But then we wouldn't get to learn along with him, because this is like the reading rainbow for Marx.
What if by the end of this, he's just like fully bread pilled? What if he's like on board once he gets to the end?
Well, I never thought I'd say this to you, but I'd like to call you a comrade, and to my fellow comrades listening, like, you know, let's rise up, you know, let's smash the bourgeoisie, and long live the proletariat.
He's never heard of dialectical materialism before, and now that he has, he's like, what the fuck? That makes so much sense.
Oh man, oh, the Hegelians are in my brain.
The Anglians, ah!
to make, you know, basically a whole new system of society for human beings.
Yeah, it's pretty important.
Yeah. Which is interesting, because then we think about how he realized how he was misguided, or not necessarily misguided, it's the wrong term, but his earlier works, he realized that they weren't exactly correct. You know, and now he's in the library, he's doing all this research. All right, and he's realizing,
let's fast forward a little bit.
He realized that capitalism is fun.
But still, Engels sold a lot of work himself through
we're on to
capitalism. So he actually survived via this capitalistic system that he hated so much.
Yeah,
he lived
I know,
in
but
a
it's
society.
like it's also the only
Did you know that?
system.
He was selling he claims state capitalism, selling all these books.
Curious.
That's available. There wasn't anything else going on, so how else would he have, you know, I think he would have said to that that he was using the capitalistic system. You know, there was no other system available, and the capitalistic system.
She almost figured it out. She almost figured out the meme. She was almost like, you know, it's almost like there was no other system available. But he would be the first to say that he capitalism had to do.
It's
Distilled like desires in him that were like, you know, lavish spending, like
on food and water and clothes and housing for his family, that type of thing.
One would hope.
You know, that you want to have all these things, like you get happier with more stuff. All these things were stuff that he said that the capitalistic system created in people.
What?
I want to see. I want to look up right now.
Yeah, I think she's confusing it with maybe like Noam Chomsky, Naomi Klein, and generations later when we start talking. Like, I think she's thinking of commodity fetishization. I want to say. I don't know. I'm being very generous here.
Don't think, and Marxists, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think that Karl Marx ever said that capitalism created greed. Like, Jesus.
Interesting. So I guess like kings and slave owners weren't very greedy.
No, they didn't like to have nice things because there wasn't capitalism yet.
No, of course, no, they weren't greedy. Pharaohs weren't greedy at all.
Not at all.
Not the slightest. No.
Well, here's the thing: they were. It's just Karl Marx didn't get it. He thought he was wrong, like he always was, because he spent all his time reading books. Like, and learn on the streets, dude.
Yeah.
World population was in 1850. Just to see. It's not. How do I find this real quick?
Why? What are you thinking of?
Well, I just want to get a picture of the world that he was living in, the amount of people that were alive at that time, versus now, versus the amount of people that we have. It's significantly different. Like, we are in a plate. Wow. Is that 1.4? 1.2 billion in 1850. So in 1850, this is when he first got to London. You think about how many, what is it, 7.8 billion now? I don't actually even know how many people are 3 billion in 1850. How many people live in the world right now, chat? You guys gonna help me out?
Oh, he's deep in the weeds now.
But it was,
when you bit off way more than you can chew.
1.2 billion in 1850. Okay.
There's going to be a y-axis and an x-axis. Oh, a z-axis, you say?
There wasn't as many people.
What sorcery is
now,
this?
You know, there's so many people on the planet now. And they're all so drastically different. If we shifted to a communist style of life, there's gonna be death. There will be famine.
That's what he was getting at.
People won't want to work. So
people won't want to work because of my.
There's already famine. Like,
famine's doing okay. And people are dying too.
So why?
Sorry to spread this. Like, what Care Bears episode does he live in where everything is doing great?
But also, like, why does the fact that there are more people make that more of a problem? Because if there are more people and some people don't want to work, it's more likely that someone can cover it if there's more people, right? Like, it's
also true.
It seems like that would be more likely now than it was when he said it, going by your extremely busted logic, you know, like it.
Yep. Glorious. Should we take another dive? Or time travel?
I think so. Yeah. I would also at some point like to see how Tim is holding up in his end of the divorce after.
Okay.
This.
Do you want to switch? Do you want to switch teams?
Yeah.
Well, how about this? Can you fast forward to like near the end? I would like to know what his closing remarks are, but not if it's the exact end. It'll probably be like him just playing songs or something. But maybe close to the end where it's like. So to summarize, he was Mussolini.
Maybe you can do a deep dive on Sir Oswald Mosley, or perhaps an examination of Western alienation in Canada. Please take care. I wish you the best.
I can't wait for the next episode or the next season of Peaky Blinders.
Oh man. Oh, Mosley. Is that what made you
think
of it?
Isn't that him?
Is that him? Sir Oswald Mosley? I don't know if that
isn't Sir Oswald Mosley the guy who led the British Union of Fascists?
I actually don't know. So I don't want to comment on something I'm not sure of. Yeah.
I think we've gone too far for his closing remarks.
Oh, so they're saying yes, British fascist, British Nazi. Yes. The chat has caught up. They're saying yes. Yep. Yes. He was a fascist.
I don't know if I should read this. I don't like that. I get what you're saying, but he says he's a legend and deserves the key to the city. I mean, I do believe that he was defending himself, and that's it. I have a few episodes.
Is he talking about Kyle Rittenhouse?
I think that was someone who just did a super chat, so they could say that he's a hero and he was just defending himself. I think that's what just happened, and he's trying to play this one off.
Very cool.
Yeah.
It's about what happened there. You can check them out. Elizabeth Barlow says, no mention of Karl's hatred for the Jewish people. He led the rise of the H-man in Germany. I didn't see any of that in my
extensive research.
In the one book about you remember that book that you sent me by what was his name?
Thomas Sowell? No.
Yeah,
Thomas Sowell.
Yeah, so he investigated Karl Marx's he didn't have
anti-Semitism.
He didn't have a hatred for. He actually defended them. He was like snarky about them a lot, and would say he was snarky about all people though.
Oh, okay.
And there was some correspondence between him and Engels where he said some bad stuff, but the writings that he did about them ultimately defended them and defended their right to have the same rights as everyone else.
Oh, right on. Well, there you go. Far Stepper says, "Dang, I missed the first part of the Krigler dive." Well, it wasn't a Krigler dive. It's my dive. Yeah, well, you can always go back. But thanks for hanging out with us. Hey,
how's his dive different from a Krigler dive?
I
I can no longer abide this. I grow weary of Weed Lord.
Yes, let's switch to Timcast. Holy shit. So Timcast is live right now. 50,000 viewers. 50,000. That's larger than the stadium in Vancouver in terms of people watching. That is wild.
That's about half the size of my
Absolutely
hometown.
wild. Tim Pool.
If half of the people in my hometown.
Wow.
Yeah.
We're all watching Tim Pool simultaneously. That's so frightening. He has so much power on this platform.
It's just.
Well.
Yeah.
Time to laugh at it. Journalist makes the case for marginalized populations to resist leftist ideals. Modern movies are fake and woke, and we're not allowed to have fun.
Wait,
Journalists
modern
annihilate
movies are
Democrats'
fake?
Yeah, that's the first one.
But
modern movies are fake and woke, and we're not allowed to have fun.
But all movies are fake. I don't.
Well, yeah, except for the pornos.
True. Those ones are real. And wrestling.
And wrestling. So-called Antifa commander cries like a baby when he's arrested. Trump threatens to defend cities that won't control protests. High-profile personalities are convinced the election will be contested. Predictions of Red Mirage may point to fraud coming in November. Red Mirage. The rights conspiracies are rejected by left-wing theories are embraced. Teachers are being...
I feel very strongly about this conspiracy one. Should we leave it to the audience?
Oh, yeah. I forgot about democracy. All right.
I feel like this... So here's my pitch. And normally I don't like to tip my finger into the democracy. Mm-hmm. But in this case, it seems like the argument he's making based on the thumbnail is that it's unfair that the left gets their conspiracy theories embraced and the right should also get their conspiracy theories embraced rather than nobody getting their conspiracy theories embraced.
Okay, I'm going to put it between that one and obviously the other crowd favorite, which is modern movies are fake. All right, hold on. How do I send this to your YouTube chat? I'll just... I think you made me
send it to me and I can do this.
Should be able... Oh, okay. Hold on. You have the thing. Okay, there's the straw poll. And then I'm going to straw poll over here.
Thank you.
Everybody, there's a poll going down. If you're listening on your cell phones or your things, you can vote in it. And then you'll be able to choose your own adventure. I'm gonna make my choice as well.
And I'll spam it in Twitch as well.
Oh shit, this one is not even close.
Whoa, yeah. Interfering in democracy feels really good. I can see why Trump does this all the time.
It's also true. Oh wow. Yeah, this one is the furthest I think any poll we've had is.
It's actually kind of freaking me out that almost 400 people have voted in this poll right now.
It's a lot of human beings. Can I quickly go grab a soda?
Yeah.
Can you entertain?
Yeah.
Do your stand-up routine.
What's the deal with Tim Pool? Am I right, everybody? Right. We have fun here. This conspiracy theories are at 71% of polled users with modern movies are fake, trailing at a scant 29%. I remind you that this poll has a 29% margin of error. DB804 loves everybody here, and that's a beautiful message. There's actually already been over $10,000 spent on this election? I would think so. Like, I would think there's $10,000 spent a day, like, in each town in America. Yes, I am indeed wearing a Haunted Doll Watch t-shirt. I wear it often on Scaredy Cats. I have like 3 or 4 t-shirts that I wear on Scaredy Cats, and that's becoming a problem. I need to buy more spooky t-shirts. His current stream has ended 25k views. Do you think he'll raid one of us? How will I know that movies are fake? I mean, you can still watch the video on Tim Pool's channel. There's nothing stopping you. Aside from good taste, nothing is stopping you from doing that. Let's get you out of here. Get them out of this. Get them out of this chat. None of these trolls may be here. Find the woke movie
Trolls?
result. Oh,
You got trolls?
I had a troll. He's gone. He's taken care of. It's not a problem. Don't worry about it. Don't worry your pretty little head about it.
Nice. I hate to worry. So I think the poll's pretty definitive.
Yeah.
Lance is back. Hide the memes. What? What did you do?
Were people posting Smooth Yoda in your chat?
Burger King.
Oh no.
Qasim Qasim's book, Conspiracy Theories. I've never heard of this person.
Oh, can I quickly pass on a message to? Hold on, I just gotta
To me? Or to Tim Pool? That will be harder.
Yeah, I'll start with you.
Okay.
Tim Pool would be
Alright.
harder. I'm just trying to find it. Oh, never
Burger
mind.
King.
It doesn't pop up anymore. Hey, Sister Rose, what was the message you had for Thoughts Time? Sister Rose is the content creator who made that Burger King video.
The YouTube poop?
Yes. My first experience with YouTube poop.
You've obviously never searched for King of the Hill on YouTube.
Oh, so that's all considered YouTube poops.
Not all of King of the Hill, but the King of the Hill attracts a lot of YouTube poops.
Mm-hmm. The far right conspiracy is rejected. Copy link address. Oh, I was asking Matt or you, sorry, if Matt had heard of Daisy Brown or Echo Rose, and if you hadn't, you should check them out as creators.
Are they
in terms of horror-related stuff?
Check them out.
Cool. All right, I'm gonna put this in.
You know, I have a theory here. People always ask, people like Alex Jones or
no, are these new faces?
Loomer, like, why did they get taken out? Why did Gavin McInnes get taken out? And my theory is
horrible.
I'm not calling them fringe, okay? And some of these people are my friends, and so I'm not speaking poorly of them. I'm just using the left's, using them as an example here. They go, okay, these are the fringe guys on the right, and the left says that. So if we can take these fringe guys out that we think are extreme in our matter, once you take out the entire perimeter of the left's idea of extreme, it now makes the perimeter of what's far right much more mainstream right. And that being said, is where people like myself then get called far right or extreme right when I'm like, hey,
You just said you're friends with fucking Gavin McInnes and Alex Jones. Like, you now claiming you're not far right.
Did he say he's friends with them? I thought he was just listing them. Oh, okay. Well, yeah. No, you're far right. Like, Gavin McInnes started the Proud Boys. Like,
it's like the amount of bullshit that just came out of this man's mouth. Because it's like, number one, Alex Jones wasn't banned from YouTube or Twitter or whatever for being far right. He was far right the whole time he was on both of those platforms, and nobody did anything. Yep. What got him banned was breaking the rules of those platforms. Now, you can argue that those rules are wrong, or they should change the rules, but he wasn't banned
or they're
because
biased
of his
towards
political
the right.
views.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. But that's Tim Pool always makes that argument because he seems to think that everyone who gets kicked off these social media platforms, it's ideologically driven. So he always says that, like, well, it's because like they're misgendering unfairly targets members of the right wing community who want to speak up about this. I was like, well, I think misgendering targets trans people, and I don't think there's any kind of like ideological spectrum there outside of the Overton window, basically.
I'm actually, you should know, and this is a common rhetoric. It's like actually the far right really actually hates me. They're some of the biggest spammers.
Those 16 eyeballs. Those 16 eyeball.
Their avatars. They're not even brave enough to have their own profile picture, and yet they're going to save the whole country from immigrants or whatever. But I'm going to say they hate me. But what's weird is that as we've seen the perimeter keep getting taken off of the right, so that now just the small sliver of the mainstream is now considered the furthest right.
Right.
We haven't seen that on the left. And what's even weird is we've actually seen the glorification, the financing of the perimeter.
Joe Biden just said he wanted to jail anarchists. So, like,
yeah,
I would be, if he had his way, I would be in jail. Like, you're wrong. Like, this fucking victim mentality.
They've got memes in the water, and then we joyful about centrists and call them Marxists.
They're coming after us. They're going to censor us. Burn the books.
CUCKS also Butterfly Tim Pool. You're a failson and I hate you. I can't keep up this.
So what used to be far
left, God, I hate his face. Go away. You're somehow worse than Indigo Wix
And now you have people talking about the fact that, I mean, realistically speaking, they're saying that, the army and the military is racist because anytime a white man has, command over a black man, that's systemic racism. And you're going, holy hell, do you not understand how the military even works? These are voluntary recruits. These people, if you know anything about the military people, they don't care about your...
Who the fuck said... This guy just... All he does is speak quickly. Everything he's saying is nonsense.
Yeah, and I was like, who is picking that ideological battle? I've never heard of that. I've never heard of someone like even liberals. I don't think that way. Where it's like, what we really need to tackle when it comes to systemic racism is commanders and sergeants, and like that's the problem.
It's such a head up ass way of looking at systemic racism. Is that like probably what somebody said to this person was the fact that like there are fewer black people in command. Is an example
in higher levels of the military, right?
Yeah.
They're not representational of the population, like the black population. It's not like there's 13% represented in higher levels. Sure,
but you can tell like this guy, his defense mechanism from having to learn new ideas or information that would conflict with his worldview is that if he never stops speaking and never stops to take a breath, nobody can tell him anything, and that's how he gets through life.
True. That's a good strategy.
Sexual orientation, race, creed, color. They're all about camaraderie and brotherhood, etc. And so, like, what I've seen is this weird intellectual warfare where now the establishment or the real mainstream right, we're all like essentially right-wing terrorists according to the establishment media, and the left has this free pass to write articles that at some point I don't even know if they're serious.
Well, so this is where it gets fun.
They're writing articles, Lance. What? When are they going to send the fucking National Guard in to get the article servers off the internet before somebody gets hurt?
Yeah. You know what's wild about all this? The exact opposite is happening in real life, by the way. Like, could you imagine what these people would have been like 15 years ago? Like, I can actually tell you because we know what Alex Jones was. He was a fringe weirdo who had a public access show, and that's the only place this stuff would have like survived. Because everything else would have been like, well, this has no common place in society. I mean, like, we don't think this way. And now they're all millionaires. Every one of them's a millionaire, and they're like, oh, the censorship, it's out of control. Oh yeah. because I'm gonna jump in my Lamborghini and fucking drink Pepto-Bismol all day. Like,
And
wow.
it's also like fucking. There they are. They're live streaming to like 50,000 people. You know, we're being censored, and here we are, the extreme left that's being pushed unfairly, and the algorithm's so on our side, and we've got like between us maybe 1,800. Like, you know.
Yeah. He's got 50,000. I think the meritocracy is real.
That's got to be it.
Alex Jones used to talk about something, I could be getting this wrong, problem, reaction, solution. It was something I used to see on the internet way back in the day. The idea being that, look, these Illuminati types,
nice,
they're going to create a problem. And
nice.
then once the people react, they come in and they're the solution. I used to remember seeing that stuff on the internet and the libertarian web and the conspiracy stuff. The idea being the government
that wasn't as bad as I thought it would
issue, and then only they can solve it. Vote for them. They're literally posting that right now. The left about Trump, the left. Rachel Maddow, for instance.
So hold the fuck on, dude. You just said Alex Jones did that. You're saying that wasn't a problem, but then when the left do it, it is. That like. How does he?
Burger King.
I don't know.
Happy wedding, though, Slime, even though you don't talk about it much.
It's
different rules for thee, not for me.
I mean, think about it. There's a video from a group called Juice Media. It's Rap News, and I think this one is number 6. And it's about Julian Assange and Cablegate back in 2010 when they made this. In their parody, they satire Alex Jones saying, We've got to stop the rise of the commie Nazi fascists. It's like one of the jokes in the video, and he talks about Hillary Clinton being evil. Quite literally, he says, "Hill dog, your lies are blatant," and he says, the Nazi fascists are taking over. That was Alex Jones. That's how people viewed him in 2010. Now those same people who think that the fascists are coming, they like Hillary Clinton, or whatever. They're screaming.
They don't.
That Donald Trump is creating the riots across the country so that you must vote for him. They're literally pushing the old school internet conspiracy line about the government creating problems so only they.
Who is saying this?
Yeah, so many citations needed.
Has
he never logged on to the internet?
Like I know that these people live in like their own little world, and I know that we live in a post-truth reality, but it's like,
yeah,
how does no one stop and go like, can you give me an example?
Yeah. Well, also, like, I don't know a single anarchist who doesn't also have an "I'm with her" like pin right next to the flag.
Yeah,
and
they
go hand in hand, right?
Yeah, obviously
they love her.
Yes. Yes,
they used to hate her, but now, like
that
I've
part
seen
that
yours.
got right. That party
worship.
got right. I will say, yes, we do love Hillary Clinton.
He had your number there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yes, Queen.
They can solve it. The whole thing is it's weird.
You know what strikes me the weirdest is the fact that we constantly get accused of being exactly what the people are that are accusing us, and I mean this.
What a fucking phrase. Mm-hmm. The fact that we get accused of being the thing that the people who accuse us of being are. Just drink it in, this master rhetorician. God, at the top of his game.
Very thoroughly speaking, what people don't notice. I run a show called Slightly Offensive. You can find it on YouTube.
Yeah, how would people
know Slightly Offensive? Yeah. And
yeah.
I focus a lot on getting my own proprietary content. I think that a lot of people don't do that anymore, and I don't mind, but I like to go out. It's something I enjoy doing. It's a crazy world that people in media still do what they enjoy. But I go out and I capture a lot of my own footage at riots, at protests, at things, and I commentate on them. And I have 2 separate parts. On Twitter, I'm myself, Elijah Schaefer. I try to stay unbiased. I try to just give video reports for other news outlets, etc. I license my footage. But on my own show, we're going to let the S word hit the fan.
Gloves off.
Yeah,
Gloves
we're
off.
going to go for it.
But
now it's very kosher. It's very kosher. I always say that it's about a 14 plus audience. If you're 14 and older, you can watch it.
So on Twitter, he tries to be unbiased, but on his channel, he doesn't. Like,
Also, who's aspiring to do journalism for teens, like preteens? That's really weird. Like, I couldn't imagine being like, I get out there. I'm a source, okay? I film things. And if you're around 14 years old, you're my target demographic.
Did he say that?
Yeah, that's what he just said. He's like, okay, you can rewind it a little bit. I'm obviously exaggerating it for comedic effect. He doesn't say I'm looking for 14-year-olds to. All right, here.
At protests, at things, and I commentate on them. And I have two separate parts. On Twitter, I'm myself, Elijah Schaefer. I try to stay unbiased. I try to just give video reports for other news outlets, etc. I license my footage. But on my own show, we're gonna let the S word hit the fan.
Gloves off.
Yeah,
Gloves
we're
off.
gonna go for it. But now it's very kosher. Still, it's very kosher. I always say that it's about a 14+ audience. If you're 14 and older, you can watch it. That being said,
like
when I look at this, I can be using.
That's his own show. And like, I'm not saying that he's specifically making it for 14-year-olds. It's just, that's a weird flex to be like, hey, by the way, man, like I love this. I get out in the field, I do these things, and like, you know, my stuff is for you if you're around 14 or older. Like,
yeah, it is also weird that he's like, let the S word hit the fan, and then he's talking about how raw he gets on his own show. Like, he's we don't hold back. We let the S word out, baby. But it's very kosher.
Oh shit. Oh yeah, no, I know. It's K word. It's K word.
My own footage that I captured, meaning I'm not like a conspiracy theorist. I'm not ripping footage. I'm not manipulating it even.
The eyes tell me differently.
This is my footage that I was there, that I risked my life to get. And in many ways, I have risked my life to get this footage. I'm pretty proud of that.
My life for the 14-year-olds.
I'm going to die.
For the kids. For the children.
Risked life.
I risked my life to get this footage to you, the kids. Like, oh, thank you. Oh man, I hope that impersonation of you wasn't stolen valor, fucking hero.
And it wasn't so I can get clicks. I'm going, but if America doesn't see this, if I don't run towards this, they're not going to see the truth. And in my mind, I'm not, it's not, no one's like, oh, it's not like a grift. Like, if I get this, I get 1 million views. Because I have a wife, I have a family. And my mom just died a couple months ago. I can't let somebody else die in my family. It
can't be about the clicks or anything remotely shallow or the profit motive. I have a wife. All that goes out the window.
I too have a wife, and I can tell you, I want clicks. Click on me. I want the clicks.
Well, yeah. But that stopped. At least it started to slow down, right? Once you got married, you got that feeling.
Yeah, it's his grandmother died, and so nobody else in his family can die.
Of course.
Which they would do if he
Is that Highlander family relations?
Yeah, and it's also like, because nice. All of the danger he's putting himself in. Like, for example, when all of the danger.
Yeah, when he held the camera and then pointed the camera at the event, and
family's broken over this. And so when I'm in these situations and these race riots, dealing with my own tragic death in my own family, I've been married a couple years, taking care of my wife, and I see something happening and I'm going, I've got to run to that. I am definitely thinking this needs to come out to America. Okay. And then I put that footage, oftentimes censored, to meet YouTube or big tech guidelines. I keep my commentary kosher. Anything that isn't, censors bleep it out. We bleep it out so that it's just like normal broadcast television. And then my video gets age restricted, it gets taken down, my account gets throttled, they tell me I'm borderline, etc. And I'm going, wait a second, my opinions aren't even partisan. When I'm there...
Well, you just fucking called it a race riot. I would say that's a little partisan. I would say that's not an unbiased way to describe a protest.
No, I wouldn't call that apolitical, to say the very least. That wouldn't be the first. Like, if someone's describing anything towards, like, it's not even a dog whistle, right? It's like walking up to a person and
yeah, it's a dog foghorn. Yeah.
Yes.
there and I look at the stuff that happened in Kenosha, the altercation between the young man and those other individuals, when I'm there and I filmed it and I witnessed it and the other angles are my friends and we scoured over this footage and we looked at it and we came to a conclusion, that's actually journalism. That's not just commentating. That's not just editorial. If I have 4 or 5 angles and individuals and we discuss and we talk and we come to a logical conclusion off of what we saw and where we were, why are we conspiracy theorists? Why are we the ones that get discredited? But yet journalists like the New York Times and Washington Post, the night of those events, which I'm going to be careful the way I word it because I know the.
Okay, hold on. First off, maybe because you're treating journalism like with Final Fantasy rules. It's like after a set of conditions and levels up and a few spells and upgrades.
Yeah.
That's what I realized.
They're upcasting journalism. Yeah.
Oh, +4. Whoa. Journalism achieved.
Yeah.
Journalism unlocked.
Once a day, I get to use my far right bonus.
Yeah, that could be one reason. The second thing, never forget, the target demographic again is 14 plus.
But it's also like you can notice him slip it in there where he goes like, we go out there, we take the footage, and it's me and my friends, and we got all the angles, and we pour over the footage, we watch it, and then we come to our own conclusions. How is that conspiracy theory? Well, I guess it would depend on what the conclusions are, wouldn't it? Like
our own conclusions about the race war we attended.
Yeah. Are they supported by what's on camera, or are they speculation?
Was the race war again? You decide. We're just going to show you the race war, and you decide what you think about the race war. 14-year-olds.
And it's also it's like the idea that the only way that a journalist could dishonestly report would be to like purposefully, deceptively edit something. Like this is something they like. I've not been to journalism school, but I've Googled journalism in my life. Like the fact that like whatever you fucking title it, is going however you frame it is bias, right? Like it isn't.
Oh yes, by its very definition. Yeah.
So like the idea that he has this show where it's just his personal opinion and he's saying that can't be conspiratorial. It's like that is definitionally like that is not journalism. That is editorializing.
No. Until you get the upgrades, then it's journalism. Then after enough.
Sure.
Enough spells,
Some
mana. Yeah.
It's a subclass of commentator. Yeah.
Was that where the race war comes from?
Yeah.
These algorithms pick up these words to just throw these streams off. When I was there and I watched that Twitter curates at the top of the feed, here's what happened. And it's from articles who had not yet contacted the journalists who were there, who did not quote us, who, from what I saw, were not on the ground in that moment. It makes you wonder. Are we really the extreme people? Are we the conspiracy theorists?
Hold on.
No.
We talked about this the other day. Radicalization. What does that mean, right? People have become radical, right? Brian Stelter recently was on C-SPAN, and someone called in saying that CNN was the enemy of truth. They've lied hundreds of thousands of times. And then he says, well, this year there's been a lot of radicalization against the media. Okay. Is it radical to want borders for your country?
No.
Of course not. It's the way it's always been. Is it radical to want a strong military?
No, absolutely not.
It's literally the way it's always been. Is it radical to want to lower unemployment and make sure that the people of your country have jobs before immigrants?
Sounds good to me.
That's actually the way it's always been. It was only 10 years ago the Democrats were for all of these things.
The start of
civilization. Bernie
civilization
Sanders was for
until
this
now.
A few years ago.
It's always been this way.
But
there has always been a military, a state.
Those aren't the positions that people are calling radical, though.
No, not at all.
I disagree that there should be a border, but it's not a radical position. It is the status quo position. But if you say there should be a border, also it should be patrolled by people with machine guns, and there should be a 10-foot cement wall the entire line of the America-Mexico border. Yeah, that's actually a little radical, dude. That's
and then any of the families they pick up, we should take the children and we should put them in cages and lock up the kids and have kid jails. That's kind of radical.
Little radical,
That's not like the beaten path, you know? I mean,
People are asking me to. Sorry, I'm just turning down my Twitch alerts because a lot of people are following me and it's making a lot of noise. All right, sorry about that.
oh, nice. Look at you.
They've gone so far off the rails that they're so far left now, they're looking at regular people screaming radical. Quite literally like Brian Stelter. And that's mainstream news. So there's good news here. I want to talk to you about the riots too, because that was actually really interesting. What
Okay,
you're saying.
sorry, 1 sec. That's literally what you're doing. That's what you have been doing, like this entire broadcast. And also, by the way, do you know, I totally forgot about this. When he was talking about CNN, he was like, CNN is just a harbinger of lies. They're like the children of the lie. There's been over 100,000 lies. Blah blah blah. How do they lie so much and consider themselves journalists? I'm like, again, that's you. that's what you do for a living. Like, you just turn a camera on and say whatever you want. Like, it doesn't matter.
In their minds, right? Since they are journalists, they assume that's what other journalists are doing. Like, it doesn't occur to them that maybe they're actually doing something different.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't understand why it's still
loud, but it's got a bunch of programs running.
Why is it loud? Doesn't make sense.
You're too popular.
Burger King.
I don't get it. All right. Properties. Shut down source when not visible. Let's just turn that off for now. I'll figure that out later. All right. Sorry.
What's going on? Because I like ragging on the media. So when I look at the far left and how far they've gone, I don't think they make up the majority of people. This fringe group.
I've heard it's 8%. I've heard
that's
8%
the Hidden Tribes report says 8%. It may be a little bit bigger because that was a couple years ago. So I'm wondering if you've got, I'll do it this way. You've got mainstream society and the left starts pulling further and further left. And it's possible that we get dragged or it breaks off. If the far left moves so far left that regular people become confused by what they're doing, they become fringe weirdos. And all of these big mainstream companies and the NBA, for instance, their ratings are in the gutter, 40% down. Do you see this?
You know what? I have, and unfortunately for them, I've
Definitely
never watched.
Definitely has 100% to do with him taking a 2-day protest. That's what has affected the ratings of the NBA was a 2-day protest they took. Yep.
Yeah, and it's,
nothing else going on in society right now that could possibly affect any of that. But
and when you look at like broadcast, statistics, the rate of people watching shit is just up. Well, people love cable these days. People love having cable and paying for it and subscribing to Nielsen households. Like
them because
the fringe weirdos.
It is a grift. I mean, these guys they've always complained. They're always getting hyper political, making millions of dollars talking about. Not
all of them.
Well, but okay, yes, not all of them. But I've seen that. I'm kind of anti-elitist. Like I don't like. It's not that I'm against sports, and I love all American.
Not me. I'm pro-elitist. I think elitism's great. Like,
oh, it's fantastic.
What the fuck? Like, who isn't anti-elitist? It's such a nonsense.
But I'll say this. This is why I like watching these kind of things, because I learn about all the straw men, like the straw people. It's a whole straw family, right? Like I would never know that's something they just assumed. It's like, oh yeah, fuck, those leftists love elitists. I was like, wait, what?
Well,
like, maybe it's the liberal elites.
Yeah, a little thing you didn't know about me though is I don't like it when people are rude to me. I don't like it. It doesn't feel good. And that's just the weird thing about me. Like, that's just how I am,
So you're an elitist?
No, it's like I'm anti-elitist, basically.
Oh, okay.
It's a weird thing about me.
Wild.
In pastimes, etc. I'm glad people have pastimes. I just don't like it when wealthy people who live very comfy lifestyles lecture America. I've never been.
Oh my god.
Just literally
how?
Like, 50,000 people watch 50,000 humans live, then maybe 500,000 later on the YouTube.
The man
literally
both of you support to be president is a literal billionaire. Like,
Yeah.
you're literally arguing that we should hand over control of people's lives to a billionaire, while also when a millionaire says something you don't like, it's like, well, they're out of touch. They shouldn't get to speak for us. Like,
yeah, it's also true. but 4 more years, please, of whatever that is.
Been comfortable with
For
that.
sure, they're not working class. But the what I'm seeing with this idea of getting woke, going broke, it's not a universal law. There have been movies that have been woke that have done really, really well, but they're not authoritarian woke for the most part, right? The example I like to give is Into the Spider-Verse.
Well, also that therefore it defeats the entire purpose of having a theory if it doesn't actually do anything. Like, I mean, I can say whatever I want if it doesn't actually affect the things I'm speaking about. What is the point?
Yeah, it's like my new theory that it rains every day. I don't know if you've heard it. It doesn't always. It's not always raining, but it does.
Doesn't always line up.
Generally, it's raining every day.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, sometimes you're wrong, but I mean, 50% of the time you're right.
Where they have Miles Morales, Afro-Latino, Spider-Man, and they don't make race the point of the story like these woke, crappy movies do that end up bombing. So I think this.
For example. Oh.
Intersectionalism, this weird cult-like behavior is.
Oh, no examples. Okay, all right.
Citations.
Yeah.
He's saving them for later.
Isolating.
Them all at once.
It's making regular people say, I don't want to be a part of this when they're forced into it, and I think it's possible. A lot of weak-willed people may just be like, whatever you say, and buy into it. But I think America is built upon generations of defiant individuals. I think about it this way.
Just so we're clear, by the way, we've gone from the fringe, discussion about whether or not he's a journalist or not for filming the race war, to this current talk, of which, like, what the fuck is Tim talking about right now? Like, are we talking about, like, cancel? Like,
I don't know what to say, man. At least he's stepped outside of. He's still on Marvel movies, but he stepped outside of the cinematic universe. So that's progress, right? Like,
true. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Our culture is very individualist for a very simple reason. The people who left the European, countries to come here were, I would rather land a boat on an empty shoreline and just start foraging for food than deal with you. And we're the descendants, not all of them.
That is not at all even no. An enormous amount of people, the majority of people were indentured servants that were like sent over here. The idea that like people just did it out of the spirit of entrepreneurial, oh golly gee, I'm going to make a new life for myself in the new world. And the idea also that they came over here and it's just this wild, untamed country. Tim, you know that there were Native Americans in the New World before we got here. They built cities, they built storehouses, they built roads. So when we got here, we had all of this infrastructure and a bunch of fucking dead people because our dirty asses brought over a bunch of diseases. Like,
yeah, and then it kind of resulted in the largest loss of human life in human history. It was like, conservative estimates in the hundreds of millions of indigenous people.
Entire civilizations just wiped out on the blink of an eye.
Gone. Just
leaving
gone.
all of their shit behind for us to steal.
All of us, because part of my family didn't come here until Actually, I think all my family didn't come here until the early 1900s or the late 1890s.
So that's when history begins.
But America has been culturally built off of those ideas, and they don't just go.
American mythology has. It is not true in the slightest. It is a convenient myth.
Go away. So we are very staunch individualists. I imagine most people are going to say, leave me alone or else. So when you start getting the things you're talking about, where they're like, tell the world you're racist, eventually people are going to say, I'd rather go live in the woods and build a farm than deal with you and your weirdo.
And they are.
I know.
And they are. People are leaving.
Fuck, Americans can't be bothered to buy food that isn't microwavable. You think they're gonna go live out in the fucking woods? Like, are you kidding me? Like, you ask them to wear a mask and they're like, I can't breathe if I wear a mask. You think they're gonna like forage for their food? Like, really?
Well, it's also that meme, right? Someone was mean to me, so I sold all my possessions and moved into the forest.
Those are your two options, by the way. If someone says, "Hey, don't be racist," you can either submit to them or go live in the woods.
Yeah. God damn it. Cancel culture. Again.
The cities in droves. I am from Los Angeles. If people cannot tell from my slightly mixed voice that sounds slightly lispy, slightly homosexual, and also Valley Girl together. That's what's called growing up in Los Angeles and hanging around a lot of liberals, but thinking for yourself.
Where's the surfer dude?
No,
in there?
no,
the
that's
surfer dude was the pot I
not at all.
smoked for like a decade. I mean, that's where I said
that's what we call just being a shitty comedian. That's it. It's just there's nothing else to
there,
it.
and I get confused sometimes. It's just a lot of pot in just a few years. But I will say this, being there, California people have their own way of speaking. I'm very much a California person in a lot of ways. And I always found it really funny because there's this group of individuals who got really mad at me for, do you know who Jesse Lee Peterson is?
Yeah, of course.
Amazing. How he goes, gay. I just think the guy's so funny. He really is a funny guy. And he...
Lance, it's your buddy.
What?
It's your buddy.
What is he talking about?
Beta.
Okay, I'm so. I know who he's talking about because I've watched quite a bit of him. I don't recall one of his catchphrases just being gay. Like maybe I haven't seen that episode, or is that something he frequently does?
It sounds
like I know
funny,
beta male.
It sounds so fucking funny. Because can you imagine like a gay dude? That's so fucking funny.
Oh yeah. Oh no, yeah, that's cutting edge.
I'm busting
love
a gut
it,
over here. Yeah. He
says that word. Yeah, it's great.
I was on a show and he's like, he always asks questions in this dichotomy, like it's for entertainment purposes, like like, dichotomy. Do you love your wife or do you hate your wife or something? And you're like, oh, that's a weird question, but like he goes, are you like a conservative or are you a Republican conservative? And I was
Which
like,
one?
Like, it's not even hey, what's your political standing? I said, I'm a California conservative, which to people who live in California.
It's just like he speaks in riddles sometimes, and it's so hard to discern where exactly he's coming from. And then finally, the clarity, like the clairvoyance, comes upon you. He really makes you think, Yeah, and I like when he says "gay."
It's good. Yeah. He's so clever. It's the thing,
He is. He speaks in dichotomies. There's two options.
Yeah.
So clearly, yeah.
Either you're a beta or he yells "gay" at you. It's
one of the two. That's the dichotomy of life.
Knows what that means. It means I hold conservative values, but I also live around really interesting individuals, and I'm the minority. And I've learned how to work, operate, eat, drink, and.
So you're not interesting. Is that why you're in the minority? Because you're boring.
And he's kind of just saying, I've learned how to ingest carbon and turn it into fuel. Like I learned how to eat, drink, and breathe. So there you go.
Be friends with people who think vehemently different than what I think about the world, and I'm okay with that. It means nothing. It's not a complicated saying. It's just like California conservatives always say that.
Yeah, respect that. That's cool.
Yeah, I know, but this group of people got like super, super mad that I said this. But I think that there's this whole part of America that is being ignored where...
I sincerely doubt that anyone got mad at him for calling himself a California conservative.
No.
I think I'm about as much of a woke scold as one can get, and I don't understand what's offensive about that.
I have no idea whatsoever. Like, I can find offense in the color purple, and I don't understand what just happened.
Whether you would call it like a respectable Democrat or a California conservative, there's this whole civil group, like the main swath of America, that is somehow being dejected from the conversation, like you said, about people being called extreme.
Dejected from the conversation.
I've never been considered an extreme person. I never in my life have considered my politics to be extreme. I run into... You probably run into extreme people online, too.
The fucking name of your show... I'm just going to point this out. The fucking name of your show references the fact that it offends people. So obviously you do know that your opinions are like pretty fringe. Like
slightly. Bro, slightly offensive, all right? Yeah, slightly. All right, we got this.
And they exist, and they have the right to exist. I'm against censorship. I think people have the right to be extreme as long as they're nonviolent. I think they have the right to have radical ideas. I think that it's
bingo.
great.
It's so boring.
Yes,
Yeah.
I do.
Especially communists.
But I also think too that like this idea of the extreme people kind of taking the narrative and batting it against each other, where I know the far right, and it's like 200 people, like that exist, and like
seriously.
and like 6
Oh, nice.
prominent ones. By the way, this is like 200
cool.
main.
What a relief. What a relief.
Hey, so we've gone from, by the way, talking about being a journalist plus one journalism by filming what you described as the race war to then out and out denying that there's a problem of white nationalism and or ethno-nationalism in the United States. Nothing to see here.
I mean, 200 people can cause a problem, Lance. He's not saying it's not a problem. It's just not important. It's only 200 people.
I mean, it's just like 200 bad apples, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
I gotta tell you, when Weed Lord left the Tim Pool Variety Hour, I worried that we might.
It got dark.
It got dark, and I worried we might run out of content. And I gotta tell you, he's. I don't know if this guy's gonna be around the whole time, but I hope so, and I love him, and he's my son.
I agree with every single word that just came out of your mouth.
Accounts that I know of that are far right. And so it's really weird that when the left even says, oh, you're far right, I'm like, no, I know the far right. That's like, I can literally tell you what accounts. I wouldn't do it, but I could show you what accounts are far right. There's only a few of them. But because they have scapegoated us as that, I just have to be careful on the right that we're not forgetting that there's this whole swath of people that are feeling very much alienated and homeless from what they knew to be the Democratic Party. And that's why I don't want to call it Republican. I don't want to call it conservatism, because a lot of these people aren't conservative, but
they think they are now, though.
But the right wing, but see, that's why we have to be careful not calling them conservatives. They're not conservative. They're liberal.
I know.
But the right wing now includes, this is the weirdest thing, and this is where I'm going to get so much
flack.
Yeah, flack for this
this
from those weird anonymous accounts probably. But I'm okay to say this, is that the right wing has become
Taking
so
a huge
umbrella
risk.
inclusive that it is
I'm
now
putting myself in danger by
includes
saying this.
Yeah, like every time
I'm
I
used
go,
to danger though.
you know, I get so much flack when I go to an audience that already agrees with everything that I think, and then say my opinion that wouldn't be controversial to them at all.
Yeah, that is actually only slightly controversial to people who disagree with me completely.
Lance, I'm going to take a lot of flack for this one, but trans rights.
Yeah.
You know?
Wow.
I'm sorry,
Spicy.
but trans rights, you know. Look, I'm going to get roasted by the anonymous Twitter people for this one, but I got to say it. That's what I think.
I'm just looking on Twitter right now. You have a lot of mentions. A lot of mentions.
Ugh.
Oh, this shit is blowing up.
I don't fucking read my mentions.
conservatives and liberals, even if people don't like that, because it's become the common sense party essentially.
I sat down with Glenn Beck and we disagreed on pro-life versus pro-choice. At the end, we shook hands and said, "Hey, it was great.
Great
Glad to have me." And we disagree, and I don't like it was.
It's never going to affect either of you, so it's pretty easy to remain detached in that situation. You know, like it could kill a woman, so she might not want to shake your hand when you say that she should have to die. You know, just a thought.
Mm-hmm.
The exasperation was kind of funny because I was like, I really think the best way to put it is we have a different, like, there's an ethical barrier between us, but we recognize we should sit down and just keep talking to, like, figure out each other's worldviews.
Yeah, but why mock the moderates? And I think that's what I come down to is that I want to acknowledge that there's extremists on the left and the right. It's just that the right wing extremists are still fringe, and that's the key thing. Is they try to make it seem
there's
like
only 200
those
of
people
them
that are right wing establishment are fringe and extreme. It's like, no, there are some right wing extremists. What I'm upset about is not the fact that you guys want to call out extreme right wing people. I'm mad that while calling out right wing extreme people and talking about the negativity of who they are, you then put on a pedestal left wing extremists. Like, if you're going to fight against extremism,
I didn't get any pedestal. Did you get a pedestal?
No, I do have a box from Soros that I haven't opened yet. It could be a pedestal.
It could be a pedestal. I should check. Yeah.
You've got to be consistent, because that's what frustrates, I think, that the average individual, and why more people are defecting towards, I wouldn't even call them Republicans or right wing, but they're becoming Trump supporters or America First. They're getting behind the America First mentality.
You're looking at one.
Yeah, exactly. Is that you're just going, I literally can tell you this. I don't agree with everything on the right. I may not be as the most conservative guy that lives maybe in, some southern state or whatever. But I can tell you that whatever this insane militant communist faction is that has hijacked what they're calling the Democrat Party, and it's...
I just need to take a breath here. That's just watching this guy. I don't understand how he can talk so much without taking a breath. He just it's unbelievable. It's like cyclical breathing. It's like watching a tuba player.
Or a didgeridoo. Yeah.
Quickly seemingly becoming the establishment Democrat Party is just detrimental. It's toxic for the future of our country, and I don't want any part in it.
Alec, you could not possibly have a more... So I'll put it this way. Let me start over. If you took the Democrats and you looked at where they were in the last election, and then you take someone like AOC or any member of the squad, and you actually map their personal policy positions they've espoused and their calls for unrest, like Ayanna Pressley, they are so far left, you can't even call it radicalization. It's something... It's extremism. It's like... If AOC...
You know what it is? It's like... Something that bums me out is that...
You're muted. Oh, you're back.
So, like, previous generations of right-wing hacks could at least point to a policy to demonize. But, like, they just go, oh, if you look at the things they say, they're so far beyond the pale. Like, if you actually read what they say, and it's like, if that is so obviously the case, it should be so easy to just pull something up and go like, she said this is nuts, but he just gets to a point where he doesn't even know what it is he's mad with these people about. It's just the idea that, like, if you can paint them as a communist, then that you've done enough. Like, you don't have to explain why. It's just, oh, they're saying all this stuff, all the stuff they're saying,
I feel like the right wing's doing that to the Biden campaign as a whole. They're trying to, like, every time I hear them speak, I'm like, that they're not that cool. It's like, oh yeah, did you know that they're all far leftist radicals? And Kamala Harris actually gave birth to Karl Marx, and Joe Biden is actually the one true prophet. And, he's got Engel's blood inside his veins, and I'm always like, I don't know if any of this is true.
It's like I like, and this is what frustrates me is I would love to just sit down with them and ask, like, what specifically do you think Joe Biden is doing that is communist?
Yeah, I would like to learn too.
AOC really is the new face of the party, which a lot of people have said. Maybe she isn't, but she's got 8.5 whatever million followers.
It's crazy.
You go from a Joe Biden saying, Barack
that.
Obama's administration, they called Obama the deporter in chief because he deported so many people. Now you've got Biden saying moratorium on deportations, decriminalizing border crossings. I think Biden may have said that. I could be wrong about that. But, he's talking about a moratorium on...
Yeah, you might have said that. I might be wrong. I could be just making all of this up. I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah.
And
just don't forget CNN or the Master of Lies or whatever.
Yeah, of course. With regards to Obama as the deporter in chief, I covered this in my video about Obama, but for those of you that haven't seen it, it is true that on paper, Obama deported more people than George W. Bush and any other sitting president of the 20th century or 21st century. But that was because they changed the rules for what counted as a deportation in the Bush administration towards the end of his second term. So they were deporting people for more reasons than they had been previously. It was rules that Bush set up. Now, Obama didn't fix it. Obama still is culpable. But it's such a convenient argument for the right to go like, oh, no, that's all Obama. It's like, but you agree with it. You want it. So why is it a problem that Obama did it? Shouldn't you be saying, unironically, thanks, Obama, if that's what you want? Like, you have to like switch on a dime and pretend that this is the opposite of what you believe so that you can criticize Obama and then switch back to praise Trump for doing the same thing.
It sounds exhausting.
On deportations, and I'm like, that's a 180 from Obama. they've convinced Biden to adopt radicalized positions. So it's a fact. And and Joe Biden comes out recently and says, "Do I look like a radical socialist?" And I'm like, "No, you look like a bumbling old man." But you've come out in the debates with these insane fringe positions that nobody wants, except for a tiny fraction of screaming people.
Such as,
well, that's what's coming into mainstream politics.
But that's what strikes me as interesting, because what I realize is this, and this is where I think I know why this has happened. Okay, because what happens is that people lose touch with reality. And I know this because when I watch influencers, right, and I watch people, I will see, and I talked to Ezra Levant at Rebel about this, about how a lot of influencers
Yes, I talked to Ezra Levant about how people can lose touch with reality. What I think the sober keystone of intellectualism. When I think of someone who's always got an even hand, and someone who looks at things with a fine tooth comb before making a decision, keeps emotion out of it. I think Ezra Levant.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if you base an entire media empire based on, I don't know, the readings that you found scribbled on the back of breakfast cereal, then you've got yourself some rebel news.
On the right get pulled towards extremism, because this is I'm going to make a point about the left here. What the extreme fringe right does is they essentially try to make you seem like, hey, we're the real right, we're the real cool people, we're the Puritans, we know what's really going on. Without us, the country is effed. And everybody else is a sellout and a fake. And here's the thing. We might have some weird ideas about certain races and people, but just listen to this. Everybody else is selling out the country. And if you read
some weird ideas.
Yeah.
Pretty out there. I don't know.
Yeah. They're kind of neat.
Yeah.
Yep. Some of them are old-timey.
I gotta tell you, yeah, when you look over what those neo-Nazis are saying, it's pretty weird.
It's a little out there.
I can't think of any other word I might use.
Save it. You got to come closer and closer to our ideology. And then you share a couple ideas that might agree with what they agree with, because, I mean, take any random sample of people, anybody might agree with something you say. And then they start getting mad that you don't agree with everything they agree with, because clearly some of their ideas are extremely toxic. And then they demonize you. So what happens is someone can have 200,000 followers on Twitter, but then they have 2,000 of these like random accounts. Multiple are run by the same.
Why is he just straight up admitting to hanging out with the 200 alt-right members? There's only 200, by the way, but he knows all 200 of them quite closely, and doesn't mind interacting with them and learning about their high-level ideas and their weird ideas. But then it's like, I talked to them about this kind of stuff, and we kind of sync up, and, the whole race science, the whites are superior to the black stuff. You got me there. And then they say some things that are just totally fringe. That are I can't get down with that.
I don't know if I would go so far as to assume that he agrees on some level with the racists, but I do think from the way he's talking, it seems that he views it as kind of an academic thing, right? Like it's not going to hurt people in the real world. It's just like on the level of feelings.
No, not at all.
It's
of course.
just
no. He's trying to learn from them. What was like Gorillas in the Mist? Like that novel and book about learning behaviors if you just hang out with them after a long enough time with the racism.
But what's interesting is that when he hears like the far right talk about race war or what have you, he views that as like that's a flight of fancy. It's just like that's a toxic idea that you just put away, and But when the far left talks about like, oh, we should feed everyone, his mind kicks into overdrive, going like, they're going to take over all the farms, they're going to do, they're going to get rid of people. It's going to be this, they're going to steal everything I own, and he can't like, he can't like separate what he thinks the result of someone's beliefs are from what that person thinks the result of their beliefs are. So in his mind, they're advocating for that. And it's just astounding to me that the level of charity he gives to the far right and the level of just complete speculation and what's the word I'm looking for? When you put words in somebody's mouth that he has for the left, it's unbelievable.
Oh, Stefan Molyneux.
What about him?
Oh, isn't that the expression when you put words in someone's
Oh,
mouth?
I see. Yeah, they're getting Molyneux. Yeah.
dot dot dot. Well, it's that old meme. They're all doing that thing where it's like, how about universal healthcare, or how about housing for everyone? And it's like, is this communism? The butterfly flies away. Like, healthcare should be a human right. Oh well, yeah. Far leftist extremism. That's pretty radical out there, right? Saying these kind of things.
Yeah, you're going to turn your country into an authoritarian shithole like most countries.
Yep.
Person, flood their inbox, go on there. If you're a small-minded person who's out of touch with reality, you think, oh my gosh, everybody wants me to go towards these extreme ideas. My base. It's like,
Right,
no,
they're bombing you.
You have 200,000 followers. These are 2,000 people who you can look don't even follow you. It's not even 1%, even if they did follow, if you're following. This is not who you should be listening to. This is mob mentality.
Okay, but like the that assumes that if it were the majority of the people following you on Twitter that were telling you to do this, then you should listen to them. As though there's no other option. That you have to listen to somebody on Twitter. You got to base your worldview on what some of the people on Twitter are telling you. You got to pick that carefully. It's like you couldn't just look into things and decide for yourself.
No. That's too much Googling.
Are extremists who are trying to push you into this cultic idea that what you're doing is somehow ruining the country unless you follow them. Now, I know that, you know that, people who work on the right that are smart know that, or left, that extremists aren't the status quo. But if you are easily manipulated, like Joe,
by definition,
bumbling, mentally incapacitated in some ways, these people are dangerous in the fact, not about violently, intellectually, they will take advantage of
This
you.
is literally what's happened. The Democratic Party uses Twitter as their public opinion barometer. So all of the fringe extremists on Twitter who will bombard one of these journalists or these politicians with crazy opinions, they think people must want this.
Exactly.
And regular people aren't on Twitter. It's like 22% of the country is active on. No, I think it's less than that. I think. I forgot what the number is.
Do you want to know what? Do you
It's
want
like
to
2% of the country.
let me put a better number on that. I went on Social Blade, just to see if I grew a little bit or whatever. It's this website. This is not impressive. I'm not boasting about this, but it said I'm like number 40,000 or whatever on Twitter. So and I'm not even very big. So if you just took that swath of like 50,000 people that are like in the hundreds of thousands and verified to millions, that's 50,000 people out of a population of what, 350, 370?
328 or something.
Yeah, okay. So over 300 million people. You're talking about like
Has your mind
50,000
expanded
people deciding
yet?
the discourse of the whole
Sounds about
country.
right, yeah.
Maybe take out half of those of people who probably don't engage politics online.
Yeah.
So like 25,000 people
Mm-hmm.
are literally creating the entire narrative for what's the whole country. And I mean, not that I'm that influential or anything. I'm just pointing out the fact that like 25,000 people out of 300 million plus sort of dictating what the news is, what goes on shows, etc.
Yeah.
That's less than 2%.
And when Donald Trump then invokes law and order and regular life, regular people, just like normalcy, that's what they're trying to do with Biden. That was one of the arguments that Joe Biden invokes this idea of normalcy. So remember the Obama years when life was
Lance,
regular?
I've pulled up a list of the top Twitter accounts.
Oh, neat.
Number one.
Am I number 40?
No, I don't think. It doesn't go that far. Number one, Lady Gaga. Number two, Donald Trump.
Sounds, I don't
Number
know.
three,
Sounds like far left
Cristiano
conspiracy
Ronaldo.
theory.
I don't know who that is. I assume it's a soccer player. Anyone whose name sounds Italian, I assume, is a soccer player of some kind. Taylor Swift, Rihanna, Katy Perry, Justin Bieber, then Obama. So these are this is the influencers that are out there shaping people's minds. Literally, the second one is Donald Trump.
Well, interesting. And what far leftist communist publication are you reading?
The first Google result.
Yeah.
You know, like Google does that, like auto. I don't know. I didn't check.
It's got to be a Chinese communist conspiracy, probably.
Rare cringe moment on an otherwise stellar stream. Why did I do it backwards? Look at the numbers. Oh, okay. It was going backwards. My bad.
What have you done?
Yeah. So Obama has more followers than Trump. Okay. The fact that Trump made the list, and the fact that like what they're saying is that the people who have all the followers on Twitter are these political demagogues, and when you look at the list, it's mostly like entertainers. You know, it's not
but
like
Obama is the king of Twitter.
Yeah.
Wow. Sounds like communist
Vote for
propaganda.
Biden, and it might work. And they say Donald Trump's the cause of all of this. It's not true. But Donald Trump says law and order, so you're getting that split.
Yeah, when you got fined for not getting medical insurance, like that was normal.
Yeah. Yep. Thanks for checking out this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. We do the show live.
Wow. He went way more dark without Weed Lord. Way more dark.
Weed Lord
there's no one to temper his like.
Yeah, Weed Lord was the yin to his yang.
What's a positive Marvel character? Yes. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Who's someone friendly who makes everyone else feel safe and wonderful?
The Hulk.
Well-known, atomized killing machine, the Hulk. That's true, though. I mean, he does make me feel kind of like warm and safe. You know, I definitely don't see the Hulk. I'm like, oh no, he's unhinged and he's gonna murder everybody because he doesn't control his emotions. It's more like, oh, he's big and green and he'll keep you safe.
Okay, well, first of all, you just outed yourself as a fake geek girl because the Hulk doesn't kill people because Bruce Banner controls and keeps him subconsciously controlled so that he doesn't actually kill anybody. The Hulk has never killed anybody until Immortal Hulk, so you just don't even know. You don't even know.
Wait, which arc? I definitely don't. I don't know Hulk comics at all. Which arc is the Immortal Hulk? How does that happen?
The Immortal Hulk is great. I have a Scaredy Cats video about it. It's like a horror Hulk comic where
cool.
Essentially the Hulk is trying to have a revolution and destroy capitalism. It's great.
That sounds fucking incredible.
Yeah.
Oh. I'm gonna have to take off. I've been streaming for almost 6 hours. I don't know what else to say except an enormous and heartfelt congratulations to you.
Thank you.
I wish you and your anonymous partner all the happiness in the world, and I hope you.
My wife is
revel
Tim Pool.
in each other's smiles.
I didn't want to say, but we're trying to keep it on the DL.
Twist?
Yeah. This whole thing has just been me being tsundere.
Ah.
It's not like I like you or anything.
I'm sorry. That's all I can say. But a massive congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Thoughts theme. I've got a charity stream to raid into afterwards. Do you want me to send people your way and then you'll just raid in later? Or do you want me to just raid into
send them to the charity stream? That's perfectly fine.
Okay. Thanks for doing this with me. And have a wonderful honeymoon. And congratulations again. Much love to you and your lovely family.
Always a pleasure. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Bye.
Bye. Now it's just me. I am going to very quickly whiz. I'm going to take a whiz. That's my thing. Be right As I was still muted. Damn it. Damn it. Oh, you should have heard the interesting stuff I was saying. Chat. Should I play the Fall Guys? Is that what you want from me? Could that deliver on the promise of entertainment? All right then. Let us begin. Let's move all of this over here. Get that out of there. Beep, boop. How's everybody doing? That was a lot of fun. Huh? Tim Fool, what's he gonna get up to next? That guy. I tell you, what a character. I ask if you want me to play Fall Guys because I want to play Fall Guys, and I know that here's a little trick for content creators out there. Anytime you ask somebody, can I create this content? They'll go, yeah. No one will ever go, no. No, it's all right. And, oh my goodness, this USB port was giving me the dickens of a trouble. Sorry, I've been reading a lot of Akewood, so I'm going to be talking like this for a while. But what is the name of the game again? It's Fall Guys. Beep and bop. There we go. Boop. I just want to pay $2 to Slime Time can see me, say hi. Hello. Please make a 25-part series about the history of ancient Rome. No. Never. Roman and Greek history bores me. Even when I was in school learning history, I was like, nah. Not my thing. Hold on, I'm just getting the volume just right. All right. I said no, but did you listen to me? I didn't, obviously, because here I am doing it, you know? Why can't I downgrade the quality? My connection can't handle 1080p. Watch on YouTube, you should be able to. Put the volume down on the game. Okay. It's really quiet in my ear. I don't know why that is. And what? Might be my OBS settings, probably. What are we playing? Gate Crash? I like this game because you don't have to do anything. You basically just kind of hang back. Let it. Oh no, this isn't the thing I was thinking of. Dang it! I was thinking of DoorDash, I guess. Volume's still too loud. All right, let's see if I can. Okay, sorry. I'm doing my best. Okay, this is a disaster. Why couldn't I have just handled this? Oh no, I just turned my own volume down. Okay, here we go. Can he come back from this? Let's see. This could be the comeback of the century. They could talk about this one in Fall Guys School for a while. Oh, See, I deserve that. Okay, let's get this sorted out. Do I like Jacob's Ladder? I haven't seen it since like high school, but it was fun. It wasn't fun. It was a good movie. The ending is definitely polarizing. Is Stink Mac going to be a thing now? Absolutely. I mean, it was always kind of a thing, you know? Because of how bad I stink. What about in Isaac? What do you mean? What do you mean, what about in Isaac? What about Isaac? Where am I? Oh, am I spectating? Dang it. I didn't realize I was spectating. Sup, Slime, it's my birthday today. Happy birthday, Rule of Halves! Congratulations. How old are you today? 25? Are you 25 years old? Don't I have central air now? I do, yeah, but it's just my natural odor. As in the Binding of... Yeah, but what about the Binding of Isaac? I understood it to be... If you say Isaac to me, I will assume it's the Binding of Isaac. Still not seeing how old Rule of Halves is. "23, I'm an old man now. Yikes. I'm 35. Everybody was telling me, oh, when you dress formally, it's so obvious how old you are. Cool, thanks. Love to hear it. Have fun, everybody. The trick to this game is cowardice. What? Not enough doors. That's the problem here. Let's just go with this one. This game is... I like a game that rewards the coward. I'm often punished for being a coward. Let's go over here. Can you get knocked off the edge? Oh no. Okay. I figured you were in your 20s. People always say I look young. Except recently they've told me I look old. People talk about the mini-game selection in this game needing more variety. The music desperately needs more variety. Thanks for all the videos. Any more horror stories from the gas station Pizza Hut? I remember my boss was this old lady who was missing her 2 front teeth, and whenever I was cutting the big block of ham that they have at Pizza Hut, she would come and eat raw ham, and it just upset me greatly. ham in general is a bottom tier meat. I don't eat meat, but like, I don't respect ham. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, no, I'm fine. It's all fine. Go where the ground is. It's easy. See, this game, I don't trust anyone. People coming near me, I'm like, get out of here. Get out of here. You're not my friend. And I don't want to work with you. I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to win. Which is why it's so sad that I always lose. Ah, ha, ha, ha. This game really trips me up. Like I can't tell which way is up and which way is down. Don't grab me. Rude. I'm not grabbing anyone. I think there's room for all of us. Just stop being assholes, everybody. And we can all survive this. This is like the film The Platform. If everybody's just not an asshole, we can all survive. I think. I don't know. I don't know if this game eventually times out. Hey. Ham is not great if cooked right. Ham is terrible. Do not defend ham. Can you get the same game twice? The same minigame twice? Ugh. Same minigame twice in a game of Fall Guys? Does anyone know? Okay. This is one of your classic bullshit games. Ham is not good. Why are people so pro ham? It's disgusting. We did it. Any wins yet? No. I've only ever played this game on stream, so you'll know when I get a win, which will be never. Or long after the game stops being popular. I don't have it in me to remember any of these. People seem to be going to this one. Alright. Pineapple is delicious on pizza? Yeah, it's fine. I like pineapple. I've said this before. I think pineapple on pizza is good if you mix it with something spicy. Ham is good, debate me? Okay, no it isn't. The debate is complete. Did literally no one die in that round? Pepperoni spicy or pepper spicy? Like a banana peppers. Yeah, literally everyone. Oh, one person. One person was kicked out that round. I'm just glad it wasn't me. Fall ball, okay. 50-50 shot. Oh, don't put me on butter team. Oh, beans. Oh no, don't go over there. Thank you. Oh boy. I have... Oh, I didn't mean to grab my own teammate. Yes, 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 yes. Go, go, go. Come on. Okay. Here we go. No! Lag! We're fucked. I feel this more strongly than I feel anything in my life. I get so tense in team games. No. Look, if I can't help my team, I can at least harm their team. Yeah, you're grabbing me, I'm grabbing you. You're not trapped in here with me. Go, shoot. Yes, no! I keep grabbing my own teammates. There we go. Oh my god, 37 seconds. This game is a real ham, which is to say bad. Don't let them get that one in either. Come on, their defense is impenetrable. No. Well, doesn't matter now. Yeah, look, I get it. I lost. You know? That's life. Satan is pretty easy to make. I've never actually made it. I've seen, like, stuff online. I don't know. Is it's not that good for you, is it? Like, I don't feel like if I was, because it's tasty, but I feel like I could, you know, just eat beans if I want some protein. Do you hate all ham? What about the acting kind? I don't have a problem with hammy acting, obviously. Frozen fake meat is just convenient. It can be, yeah, for sure. Just made fried tofu yesterday for salad. It was pretty good. Fried tofu on a salad? What ghoulie would be a communist? I feel like they all would be. Except maybe Cat Ghoulie, who the other ghoulies don't like, as established in Ghoulies 3, ghoulies go to college. So, I've got a Ghoulies channel in my Discord that I've maintained since the inception of my Discord. And the joke has always been that, like, the only discussion that happens in the Ghoulies channel is me reminding people to stay on topic. And then I realized, like, I haven't talked about Ghoulies in probably a year in a video, so people don't even, like, associate that with me anymore. So it must be extra confusing, and that was just even funnier. But I did mention it in a recent video to correct that mistake. Congratulations on the wedding. Yes, I suppose that is more interesting. Dang it! I suppose that is more interesting than the Ghoulies discussion. Get eliminated in the first round. Closest I've ever gotten to the crown? I think I was like 5th in a game. More like ghoulies go to Marxist indoctrination centers, am I right? Absolutely. Is tofu good? I want to cut meat. Tofu is good depending on how you cook it, right? Like it's the problem a lot of people have with tofu is if you don't season it or do anything with it, it tastes like nothing. It tastes like congealed water, you know? You need to season it correctly. Yeah. I defy you all to try dried tofu. I will not rest. Dried tofu. How have I done this again? Dried tofu is great. You should always dry your tofu. What I do is I freeze mine, thaw it, then drain the water out of it. And I cut it into strips and I bake it on a silicone baking mat. And if I'm feeling a little cheeky, I'll brush it down with some olive oil and throw on some panko crumbs. Colton Hard, thank you for the super chat. Also, what a name. That is the manliest name. Holy shit. Imagine how easy your life must be if your last name is Hard. Who's gonna mess with you? I can't tofu, I'm too indoctrinated into eating meat. I mean, eating tofu does not require that you stop eating meat. You can, in fact, eat tofu even if you're not a vegetarian. And I would recommend it. It's good for you compared to meat. It's not that good for you in general. I mean, it's got a lot of protein, but also a lot of fat. Like a lot of fat. I don't know. No food is good for you or bad for you. Eat which makes you happy. No, 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 no. I can't fall. I can't. Get firm and extra firm tofu? Yes. Well, depending on the recipe, right? So, silken tofu can be good in like, if you're making a cream-based sauce. Like you want to make fake mac and cheese? Cheese with a Z? I don't know why I said Z just now. I don't say Z. People think Canadians say Z. I don't say it, and I never will. Except that time when I just did. Damn it! I fell again. Damn it! Oh, what just happened? Sorry, some weird voice meter window popped up and put the game in the background. It was quite disconcerting. I don't think I can make it at this point, but you gotta try, you know? What's the best Ghoulies movie? Ghoulies 1. The OG. Original Ghoulies. Worst Ghoulies movie? Obviously Ghoulies 4. Ghoulies in name only. No, 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 no. Okay. We did it. Sarah says Zed? Sarah Zed does, but not Sarah Z. Have I ever tried frying cauliflower? Yeah, of course. There ain't a vegetable I ain't fried. Alright? Like in a pan, not in a deep fryer. I don't deep fry much stuff, because honestly, it's like, I might get deep fried stuff at a restaurant, but like, it feels like such a pain in the ass to do at home. And where do you bring the oil? Like, one day they will serve tofu burgers at Burger King. I did recently treat myself to one of the plant-based sandwiches at KFC. God damn it, it was completely tasteless. Like it tasted like nothing. Have I had okra? I love okra. Once again, depending on how it's cooked, right? Hey, can we have these? Can we have them though? Give them the blue. Get out of here. Yeah. No, we're working together. Blue and yellow all the way. We're a team. Oh no. Red is good at this. What are the age demographics of Thought Slime's audience? I'm not exactly sure. I think it's mostly, you know, what you'd expect, the 18 to 35 type of deal. But that's just like, you know, mostly YouTube demographics. Like, I don't know if I attract an older or younger audience. I feel like anytime I talk to someone in my audience, they're very young. And I then feel very old. No. Enough of this. Stop making it go back in there. I want it to be in Blue Town. Oh, we win. Define very young. Like, to me, anywhere from like 15 to 25 is very young. I contributed in no way to that victory, and I'm... As a woman on the internet, I'm 28, so I might as well be dead. That's not true. Listen. There's plenty to live for, even if the internet thinks you're old. Okay, we're gonna do this. I don't really know what the challenge is here so far. Don't fall off? Okay. You got it. Hey, let go. Why are you being a jerk? Why is everybody being jerks? Like, that would kill you if that killed me, it would have killed you too. Like, come on. Think ahead. Like, if you're like, I understand. Meat is bad for you? Tell that to Jordan Peterson. I didn't say meat is bad for you. I think it's bad in many ways. Okay, look. I'm gonna be honest, this game was real easy. I feel like the things should come from both directions, and that would make it like a decent challenge. You know? Because you'd have to manage it. As it stands, like, you can see them coming. Like, this is probably the easiest game. He said, almost dying. You're the most chill gamer I've ever seen. I'm the chill video game nerd. That's my new character. It's when I play a game that has flaws and I go, but they did their best. You know? Why get mad about it? Please, blue team. I'm a butter boy again. I can just feel it. Yeah. Like, I think there's a real psychological disadvantage to being on Butter Team. No! Fuck. No. Hey, why would you kick it that way? Sir? Or madam? Or thembum? I don't know what the non-gendered honorific is. Pal? Oh my god. Any uncles in the chat? I'm an uncle, and a funky uncle. Four. They're at... You know what? Take me out. Oh, okay. Whatever. Who cares? Who cares? Who cares at this point? Do I have any pets? I had 2 cats. I no longer have 2 cats. They live with my mother now. What is a non-gendered honorific? Doctor. To whom it may concern. Captain. Yes, exactly. There we go. We scored a point. That's a moral victory. Just once you start losing, it's like, all right, wait this out, I guess. Officer? Don't care for that. Hey, we unlocked Raspberry. Landlubber? See, that's a good way to be forced to walk the plank. You come at me calling me a landlubber. We'll see. Scurvy dog or a salty sea dog? There's one, yeah. You can get more hit on the ball without the dive? Really? That doesn't make any sense. My lord? No, that's definitely gendered. Hey, you? That's one. Citizen? That makes you sound like RoboCop. Specifically RoboCop in Part 2, when they reprogram him for a little while. Which is my favorite part of RoboCop 2. Sorry if that's controversial. If you've never seen RoboCop 2, essentially RoboCop's brain gets scrambled. So they, like, reboot him, but with a really corporate friendly attitude. So he's like going around town, like he stops a bunch of kids that are jumping through a fire hydrant that's broken, and he like tunes it up and he goes, "Waste not, want not." I can't remember any other examples. Like, the original RoboCop kind of played with that when he's like, "Ma'am, you have suffered a shock. I am contacting a crisis center," you know. But it's a joke. It's a very dark joke, and it's a very horrific moment in the movie because It's like he's seeing this woman get sexually assaulted, and he has no emotion towards it. It's just like input to him. You see how far he's been dehumanized. Way better than 3? No. RoboCop 3 is a misunderstood work of pure genius. RoboCop 3 has the scene where there's the two guys, and one of them is like, it's like these two goons, and they're just standing around. One of them's like checking his pockets. He's like, "Oh man, you got a light?" And then RoboCop busts through the wall with a flamethrower on his arm, and he says, "Allow me, creep." That's great. Or when the two goons are like pointing their guns at the door, waiting for RoboCop to come in, and instead of coming through the door, he shoots a RoboCop-shaped hole through the wall and goes through that. And the whole time the bullets are coming through the wall, none of them think like, oh, RoboCop's probably behind that. It's incredible. That one doesn't come down. The little girl hacker that reprograms an ED-209 to make it into a dog. Why does it have a dog program? Hi, Frockbrime. I've learned a lot from your videos, and your Labor Day video specifically was a huge tipping point in my radicalization. I hope this makes up for all the ads I thoughtlessly skipped. Have a great wedding. Skip all the ads you want. It doesn't bother me. Unless it's against YouTube's terms of service to say that, in which case, I was kidding. Don't do that. Wink. Didn't Frank Miller write RoboCop 3? Frank Miller wrote the original script for RoboCop 2, but they didn't use much of it. You can read a comic book that is Frank Miller's RoboCop 2, and it's much worse than what they actually ended up making it. Because Frank Miller is terrible. That one, well, it wasn't coming down at the moment, all right? Frank Miller is such a generic name. I always think the name Frank, whenever someone names a character Frank in something, I'm always like, that's not a name real people have, you know? It's not a real name. I recently met a man named Frank for the first time in my life. And I was like, come on. Thoughts on Gremlins 2? I have no problems with Gremlin 2. Obviously, Greta Gremlin is an icon. Gonna be honest, I've only watched Gremlins once and I was extremely high. Which, I gotta tell you, probably the best way to watch Gremlins. I think I give the impression that I smoke more weed than I do. Because a lot of the time, like, it comes up in my public persona. Like, I'll mention, oh, I was really high when I watched that movie. It's like, I really don't smoke weed that often. If I was going to give a liberal one book to push them left, what would it be? I would say Anarchy Works by Peter Gelderloos. Because it's all of the questions that you're going to get, like, has anyone ever tried this? What would happen if they did this? Like, well, wouldn't it be better to do it this way? Like, you know, it's real life examples of anarchist principles, if not, you know, anarchists embodying them, but like other groups doing things that an anarchist would advocate for and succeeding. Can you explain Doomers to me? Yeah, it's like sad guys. Like they're sad because of how bad the world is. And they're like, oh man, this sucks. That's basically their deal. The Bread Book, I think, is not a very convincing book. Like, in the sense that if you're not on board, it I think, reads to a lot of people as utopian. And I mean, like, you know, in the foreword of the book even says, like, yeah, I'm utopian, what about it? Being utopian kicks ass. I'm paraphrasing. Whoa. Guys, hey. Oh no. Oh, the luck. But I think, like, if you're not already, you know, if you're skeptical, I would say Anarchy Works is like, and it's all free. Like, you can get it online for free. You can get like actual copies of it, but I think it's AK Press distributes the actual book, but they made it free. Like, you can go read it if you want. And also, if you can't find a good copy, Audible Anarchist on YouTube has an audiobook version that you can listen to. Which, at some point, I'm supposed to collab with the Radical Reviewer to talk about this book. Which means I will be re-listening. I read it the first time, but I'll have to listen to it again on Audible Anarchist to get refreshed on it. Which means I'll be playing a lot of Minecraft. That's what I do when I listen to audiobooks. I don't like audiobooks as a format. I prefer to just read a book. You know? I would rather listen to a podcast or read a book. I don't want to combine them. That's just me. Don't fall, don't fall, don't fall, don't fall! You fell. You fool. Just realized your name is a pun on thought crime? It's not. It's not. Happy wedding, thank you. I've told people this many times, that it's not a thought crime joke. The whole impetus behind naming my channel Thought Slime was I spent a lot of time on something awful as a youth. And whenever someone wanted to criticize something awful, they'd go, wow, the name is pretty accurate. They are something awful. So I wanted a name that conveyed that. Like, I have slimy thoughts. Like, I have bad thoughts. I'm a big Dumbo, you know? So that's why I named myself that. And it worked, because look at how Caleb Maupin responded. What do I think of fan fictions? Should aspiring fiction writers write fan fictions? If it pleases you to do thus, why shouldn't you? I see no reason why an aspiring writer should. Like, I think if you're writing, then you're doing what you should be doing. I think it shouldn't be all that you write. I think that you should probably expand, you know, to different, to make your own characters, your own worlds, if you want to be a fiction writer. But you know, I don't think it's bad for you. Mr. So-called thought slime is such an unintentionally amazing line. It's true. It's like, no, I'm lying about being thought slime, you know? No, I was just trying to look cool. No, hey. Not about real people. I didn't think it would be about real people. That's friend fiction. Come on. There's the QAnon Twitch stream. Why is it coming up in my recommendations? Trust the plan. I'm a Q guy now. I've decided. No, I'm not. Don't leave. What if I just became a QAnon guy? What if I just did that? What if that was my next move? You know what? I'd still watch. Why? Why would you watch that? Because it doesn't sound like it'd be good. Unbelievable heel turn. This is what I don't get about, like, all of the, you know, former right-winger turned left-winger. And, you know, the other way, I guess, it works too, but they go from, like, liberal to far right, rather than, like, far left to far right, usually. But, like, okay, you changed your mind. Great. How did it happen so fast? You know, like, you never see these guys gradually change their mind. It's always like overnight they've changed everything they believe. You know, it's like I don't feel like I could trust someone if their like opinion of the world is so fickle that it changes. Like, you know, I feel like if it were me and I was like if I felt like tomorrow that I started feeling like I was more right wing than left wing, I would take a break from YouTube and figure it out. You know? Like, I wouldn't feel comfortable leaving that up if it went against everything I believed. You can grab ledges while jumping by pressing the grab button while jumping. Okay, alright. Currently, the only writing I do is of people, but then again, I'm a so-called journalist. Well, I don't think you should use fan fiction in journalism. That's my hot take. That's what Tim Pool does, and look what happened. Like, to me, right, like, I think it's definitely realistic that people would switch their position. I think people do it all the time. But I think it strikes me as unrealistic that within a matter of weeks you would just completely change the way you think about everything. Like, especially if you had been really confident in it before, like to the point that you were instructing other people and saying, like, this is what is true. And then, you know, a week later, you're like, oh, actually, no, I was wrong about everything. This is what's true. Wouldn't you feel like, well, how do I know I'm right now, you know? If you think online personalities, I think it's about a paycheck. I think that's definitely true for some of them, but I think there are definitely like there are people that I think do genuinely change in that way. Like that quickly. What I think is strange about it is that doesn't give them pause. That doesn't make them think, well, maybe I should take some time and really be sure what I think. You know, and like, look, you know, change, like, go for a different like style of content. Like, if you were far right and you're very political, just make videos about movies or something for a while. Like, if you need to still get paid, you know. Like, I'm doing a video about Akewood tomorrow, and I'm about as political a YouTuber as they get. What? I died? I'm about as political a YouTuber as I get. Not all my videos are about politics. Not all of my videos, you know, is just me getting mad about capitalism. I can do other things. Presumably, therefore, so could, you know, far right. They could just do a video about something else. And like, I don't know. And it also strikes me like if you were just in it for the cash, like that would be the worst way to do it, because you would flush away like all of your following, you know, really quickly. But if you did it slowly, you could kind of acclimate them to it. You got eliminated right on the finish line? What? Please put Philippe in the thumbnail. It's Beef is in the thumbnail. It's him when after they make the cheers for him to lure him back from the moon, and his eyes get really wide and he goes, oh hee hee. You always have to have a really strong face in a thumbnail, and that's like one of the best faces an egg would. Your stance on real person fanfic is about writing people in romantic or sexual relationships, usually content creators. Like, I'm gonna be real with you. I think that's a gross thing to do if you publish it. But if like you're just writing it for yourself, who cares? You know? Who cares? And to be clear, I don't think you were saying that it's okay to do that. I think you were saying very much the opposite. I'm not accusing you of that. But I just think, I don't know. Seems like switching from right to left is not so bad for maintaining audience. The right eats it up. From right to left? I would think that the right eats it up. Why would the right like that? You mean the left eats it up? The right gets angry. Yeah. Here's the question. Has anyone ever, like, changed their position because a content creator they liked changed their position? Like, is there anyone here that, like, am I dead again? Or am I just getting knocked around a lot? Where am I? No, I'm alive. I was hitting the wrong button. Okay, I got an egg. Egg. Why are people throwing out our eggs? Look. Hey, bud? I'm on egg defense. Get the Triceratops. He got away with the golden egg. And I was on egg defense. I'm sorry. Yellow team, I failed you. You are not getting out of here with an egg, my friend. Come on. This is more intense than any battle has ever been. I simply can't allow you to leave here with this egg. Okay, we did it. I love your videos. I'm from Argentina. Oh, neat. This is something I have to get used to, is the fact that, like, there are people all over the world watching me do the bullshit I do. There are people, like, in every corner of the earth who grow increasingly nervous at the mention of the word eyeball. Hate the camera controls in this game. They need invert. Johnny Carcinogen, it's time for you to give up the ghost. No one uses inverted cameras anymore. This isn't 1992. We're not kids anymore. This is the best fruit-related game in Fall Guys, in my opinion. Of the two fruit games. Okay, alright. This is... No! Oh my god, I lost so much to that fucking pretzel stick. You know what I like about this game a lot? Is like, the items in this game are not designed to look like the real thing. They're designed to look like a plastic toy of it. It's like a simulacrum of a simulacrum. Alright, we're gonna do one more game, and then I'm gonna call it a night. Isn't it supposed to be a cinnamon stick? It doesn't look like a cinnamon stick to me. Like a cinnamon stick I think would be hollow, right? It's diegetic. The whole thing is apparently a game show in the lore of the game. Yes, I know. That's why it's, you know, the music sounds like that. It sounds very game showy. It's like Wipeout, essentially. But like even them's fighting words, I'll own you by paying you. Invert camera controls make much more fun sense. It's like flying. You pull down to go up and push to go down. Yeah, but you feel that way because you're used to it. They make no sense to me and anyone who isn't used to it. And that's the majority of people. And at some point, you're just going to have to recognize that less and less games are giving you the option to invert the camera. And at some point, you're just going to have to, you know, reconfigure your brain. I knew people that did inverted camera a lot as a kid, and they've all had to, you know, change their ways. I'm sorry, it's a cruel world out there. If I had my way, obviously they'd let you do whatever you want with the controls. It's not a fair world, you know? I'm sorry. I'm glad you, I'm happy that you hear it from me, you know, rather than, like, learn it on the streets. Okay, come on. Everybody stop pushing me. I'm a YouTuber. Thank you. Oh boy. Oh boy, that's not what you want to see. Oh no. Ah. Alright, I know I said one more game, but that was such a short one. I'm a fake gamer after all. I'm not saying you're a fake gamer, I'm just saying. This is a problem that's only gonna get worse for you. TTRPGs, yes or no? I mean, I play D&D once a week. So, maybe? Ironically, Slime Climb is a game that I'm terrible at. Oh, I'm fucking doing it again. I did it again. I thought I... Thought I exited. I didn't. I think it's pretty much impossible to really be a socialist in a country where capitalists control most of the resources. That's like almost all countries. So it's essentially third worldism. Playing inverted is like being homosexual IRL. You don't choose to be this way, but YouTubers will tell you you're wrong for being that way. I think that you might be overstating your case ever so slightly. I think a more apt analogy might be being left-handed. Play this game with mouse and keyboard? I can't imagine. Any game that I can play with a controller, I will play with a controller, to be honest. I just think it's a more fun way to play a video game. It's how I was raised. What I never understood about like schools trying to teach people not to be left-handed is that like presumably all of these left-handed adults must know that the minute they're out of school they just go back to using their left hand. So like how come no one tells them like, yo, that just doesn't work at all? Come on. Alright, fine. Do I play 40k? No. No, I don't have the money for that kind of thing. Alright. PC Gaming Master Race? I'm playing on PC. Left-handed is a religious thing. It's the evil hand. It's the sinister hand. Yeah, it's but I think it was more so done like, oh well, stuff isn't made for left-handed people, so we'll just convince you to use your right hand. It's just that's not how that works. It's too late. They're already using their left hand. Good news, everyone. It's the fruit game. The word sinister actually means left-handed. Fun fact. Google it if you don't believe me. Thank you, Colton, for standing up for me against the mean bully thought slime invert his life. You see me as a bully because you're not ready to face reality, and I'm doing you the greatest kindness that you don't understand. Alright. I know the feeling because I skate goofy, so I know how hard it can be. Exhilarating. Inverted control people rise up, you have nothing to lose but your chains. Shouldn't inverted controls people push down, not rise up? Keep the balls in your area. Good advice. You think Max skates Goofy? Absolutely. You know, it is named after Goofy from Disney Goofy. From the Goof Zone. And the troop thereof. Yeah, knock that one over there. Good job. Hey, that's not the direction I wanted to move that. Good job, hot dog. Hot dog, where were you on that one? I see I was too effusive with my praise. Choosing to skate goofy has nothing to do with being born homosexual or playing inverted. I don't know if that's been proven. What is skating goofy if not the inverted way to play a skateboard? Ah, beans. It's not going well for red team today. Let me tell you. Hey. Nice, nice, nice. Yes. Awesome. How do I get in the people pay to yell at me industry thoughts line? It's the trick is you have to make a hot take that no one would actually care about. Like for example, here's one. It's pronounced GIF. It's GIF. Does anyone disagree? Let me know. Also, crunchy peanut butter, better than smooth peanut butter. Hot dog? That's a sandwich, baby. Whoa. Okay. Everything's going fine. He did it. Raviolis are small sandwiches? Here's a question. Pop-Tart, is that a ravioli? Think about it. Oh. Okay. It's all come down to this. Fuck. Fuck. No. Hops. Ah! Frig me! Well, that's it. I had an honest-to-God shot, and I blew it. But I got a squiggly camo. I exit the video game? There we go. Okay. And then I hit A. I'm hitting it. And then the game turns off. Excellent. I've done it. I knew I could do this. Well, that was fun. If you got to meet Tim Pool in real life, would you? Absolutely. I have some questions I got to ask him. Where does he get his beanie dry cleaned? I'm told that there is a charity stream. I don't know who it is. I should have asked who it was. Does anyone know who the charity stream was that the Serfs raided into? Say goodbye to Magni. Ah, Mani. Damani. It's Aiden Wood. Aiden Wood, if he could. That's a reference to the hit film Cool World. Boop. Oh, let's get into my own chat is the way to do this. And then you go here. Oh my God, why is Twitch making this so difficult for me? Ah, here's my stream manager. I knew I had it open in a window somewhere. Duh. Every time. When you get into their chat, everybody say #CoolWorld. And do not explain why. If you have any love in your heart for me, you will just say Cool World without explaining anything. Happy Mary Thought Slime, thanks for everything. Thank you. Please learn to use a controller properly. Goodbye, my beloveds. Is it going? Is it due? Does it do? Doesn't seem like anything is happening. This is a problem. Raid. Aiden Wood. It is, no, it doesn't do. Because whoever told me the person's name, it's not spelled right. I'll spell it the way I know how to spell Aiden. Raid. Aiden. Let's try that one. Nope. Well, hopefully this is the right account.